They are fingering us. This is what it says on the sidetalking.com. 2004 new leaked Nokia advert. They are fingering us.
Did that have to happen?
I think they're supposed to be saying they're being pointed out, I guess.
That's a whole nother word. I don't
know.
I don't know how.
Is it from a different culture, or
things get lost?
Well, Nokia's what, Swedish or something?
Right,
Finnish?
but I don't think this website is.
I don't know. This website is just weird.
Yeah,
I also don't think this is the one that Jeff Gerstmann was talking about, because I thought it was supposed to have a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, I don't see any pictures. No, I put a G in there. Maybe there's not.
So did I.
G.
Oh, we are live,
Nope,
so I don't know.
You
what
leave
that
the
means.
G out. It's the same website.
Okay.
So, all right, I'm done. I don't care anymore. I've lost interest.
Okay. It's Thursday, correct?
it is Thursday?
It's
It is.
Thursday. All right, it's Thursday, October the 4th. This is GameEthus Podcast, episode 356. I'm one of the hosts here. My name is Aaron. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Aaron.
Hi.
Hello, and what might your name be, sir?
Who are you talking to?
You, Mike, because you
All right.
because you said something.
That's me.
That is
Mike.
you. Yeah. Okay.
Next.
That's all we get, huh? Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep this rolling.
Trying to keep it rolling. All right, Tiny.
Hey, it's Tiny. I'm here. We're doing a thing.
We're doing video?
Yeah.
Yes. Everyone
Shit.
but Mike.
Shit, I gotta put on a shirt. Oh, did the show start? I know I'm supposed to stop cussing at some point.
Yeah, it
There are
did.
so many reasons outlined right here why I don't use a video. I'm good.
It's not like the video came on, like, oh man, I'm topless. Like,
Oh man, I'm
Like,
exposed to everyone.
I mean, I got on a white beater, but still, like, I ain't about to be on video with just a beater on. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm just podcasting with Chase. That's a completely different situation. I don't have to dress up for that.
man.
So we don't have. So
Not
shirts
sure
are
if
optional
that's-
when we podcast. Why didn't I know about this?
Because you're a hipster and you want to look like a hipster.
Well, I can just take my shirt off right now.
It's like,
Okay.
you gotta,
There are decisions being made right now.
okay, I'm gonna put
just
on
gonna
a shirt.
Pop this off.
No, but I'm here. I'm Scarfinger. I'm awesome. I'll be back.
All right. Well, we know Scar. Chase, I met you about half an hour ago.
You
it
did.
was a pleasure meeting you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah. I've actually never listened to GameEthus, and now I think I might have to start.
You know what? None of us have either. So,
Wait, that's not true.
That's not true.
I've definitely heard of you guys through Scar because he does speak highly of you guys. So.
oh, that's very kind of him. It's very nice.
Mistakes have been made. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's he's been known to just make stuff up. It's a pretty good show. Yeah, all right. So anyway, tell us about yourself. Like, what have you been up to? Just anecdotal.
Well, I am a father. I don't know if you guys have kids or not, but it's kind of crazy. We last year we had our second one, so there's about 10 years difference in my two kids.
Wow. Okay.
And but yeah, I like long walks on the beach and
With the kids?
Yeah, with the kids. Long walks on the beach with the kids. That's how, we get down around here.
All right.
All right. 10 years is that's something. That's
Yeah, the second one wasn't necessarily like a planned thing, but sometimes
I'm not saying I
life
can
finds a
relate
way.
to that or anything, but yeah.
Is it like a daily reminder that you tell the youngest?
No.
You weren't exactly like a planned thing or anything.
No. Plus, see, I mean, even if I did tell him, he wouldn't understand because he'd just be like, because he's like 10 months old. But
Yeah, they might not turn. Well, you also don't want to. I mean, I think at a certain point, they get old enough where they kind of get it.
yeah, at a certain point, it's time to stop taking baths with the little ones.
Yeah,
Well, that's a different thing. But yeah,
that is a different thing.
I mean, there is what is that game? Shower with your dad.
Yeah. Why is
that's
that
like a thing? But it shouldn't be.
Steam is like this thing to where like you can put almost anything you want on Steam. Like recently, I actually was just scrolling through Steam, and there was a game on there called like Disgruntled Workers or something like that, and it's about working for some sort of big company, and it's super like depressing, and it has to do with like suicide and stuff. So it's about like working for a terrible company, and you may commit suicide.
Chicken soup for the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that sounds like a great game to play. Oh my, that sounds like a great game. I can't wait to play. And I play like really weird stuff, like RimWorld, which could be depressing if you get attached to your characters and they get shot in the face. Well, I don't really know about playing a game about being a disgruntled worker. I don't know if that's something that's really hot on these streets. Like, is that what the kids do now?
I don't think being a disgruntled worker is what's hot on these streets ever. I don't think it's ever been like hot on any street, unless it's just you're a disgruntled worker and it's just hot outside.
But sometimes
hot on these streets.
Sometimes you get locked into stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where you got kids 10 years apart to feed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, that's the thing. You have like built-in babysitting, so it works out.
Not necessarily.
Well, at a certain point. I mean, sort
no.
of.
Right.
No. Okay.
All right, 10-year-old, you're gonna watch the newborn while we go out for like a week.
At like 12, 13. Like by then,
Well, then you can go out to get the mail without worrying about the house being on fire.
I don't know. I was taking care of my siblings by like 13, 14. Hell, I was taking care of complete strangers' kids by 14, so that's fine.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
I was a camp counselor.
Well, they weren't complete strangers now, were they? Like
their parents were. I don't know who their parents. I don't know the kids' parents.
Fair enough.
You were a camp counselor at like 13 years old?
Definitely 14. Was I a lifeguard at 14? I don't know. Definitely 14. 13, no, because camp would have ended by 12. So
camp ended at 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, after that.
But isn't like a camp counselor like a paid employee, like child labor or something?
There's some things to be said about the community center that my mother worked at that I then got drafted to anyway.
You were breakdancing. So let me guess, you were breakdancing in front of me to save it, right? Is that what the story inevitably goes?
It was in the winter.
I hate you because now ain't no stopping us. No stopping.
In the winter, we had a ski race to
You're the only person to get that. You're the only person here that gets that.
A long time. And they did stop. So, yeah. I'm sorry, Toddy. Go ahead.
That's okay.
Just breaking things down.
I was make a different reference, but it's fine. We used to run a Halloween.
I literally just started breakdancing in my chair. And it may or may not be something special in my drink.
Oh,
I'll go with may not because of the way you phrase it. I figure may not is probably the more likely answer of the two.
I'm not sure at this point.
This is a what do you call it? A triumph, or not a triumph, but like a milestone. Because if Scar is drinking alcohol, that's definitely like Declaration of Independence type situation here.
Okay, but so let's just put it this way. Scarcasm listeners, you'll know what I'm talking about. Even if I'm drunk and I take my phone with me while still recording the podcast, and I go to the bathroom and not turn my microphone off, I will at least wash my hands.
The naked gun comes to mind.
That's a specific scenario.
I mean, at least
Oddly
that's
specific.
At least. Some of us don't. I'm not saying who, Chase, but some of us don't. when we're drunk.
What is this? What are we talking about?
When you went to the bathroom while you were drunk and didn't turn your mic off and didn't wash your hands?
I don't recall this.
Word.
Didn't happen.
I'm going to find that episode. Watch.
Email the clip to Aaron and he'll interstitch it into the show.
I don't think
also tomorrow we look on Snopes.com and there's like an article about Chasm and Drunken Chase.
Post it.
All right. This is an alcohol-free podcast because Mike nor Tiny drink alcohol, much like myself. Right, gentlemen?
Have we met before?
I mean,
Yes, we have.
I pretty much stopped drinking, so whatever.
Really? Okay.
I only really drank when I went with my out to like Vegas with my coworkers. So
true.
And I kind of stopped doing that.
So you could be like me then.
So like,
congratulations, you're a winner.
Whatever.
I'm not saying anybody who drinks is a loser, but I'm just going to stop talking about this entirely. This is not going to work out well.
Just remember, Captain America is a drug user. So that's all.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, sort of.
Well, would you say user or just on drugs?
Perpetually
he doesn't continue to use, right? It continues to exist.
In him,
yeah.
Like, that feels like a real pedantic, probably, breakdown.
But is it like, I'm a red blood cell user because it continues to be in my body?
Yes.
Like, nah, people don't say that.
Yes, because you... Anyway, whatever. I will just send you a funny clip where they make fun of Captain America being a drug user. And then Hawkeye tells him... Is
it the little winners don't use drugs thing?
It starts with that, yeah.
That is very
winners
good.
Don't
use drugs.
All right. Chase, anything else you want to tell us in this introductory phase of the show?
How about we just keep it spoiler free and we can learn throughout the show?
You know, I like that. I like the sound. I like that attitude. Scar, what's good? How you been?
Man, nothing new. Just busy. Man, it's been a long time since I've been on the show, man. I don't even think I was in Richmond the last time I was on the show.
Maybe you were talking about moving there.
Yeah, it might have been talk.
Yeah, it's just been crazy, man. Like so I live in Richmond now, which is crazy because these people around here are crazy. I have a different job. I work for a moving company, but I work in the office. I don't actually move people's stuff because that would suck because I would break a lot of people's stuff. So no one wants me to do that. The show, Chasm, is doing very well. Chase is my esteemed co-host who just walked away from the microphone.
I'm done.
And
I'm out.
recently we did an all-guest August where I was getting sick of doing shows. So we decided to bring in guests on every show for August.
It's all guest.
August. And that was a lot of fun. And we had a lot of people on the show. And recently we've had Rob on the show twice.
That's called growth.
It's definitely growth.
That's called growth and maturity, and I respect that.
Yeah, and people seem to really dig those shows. We had spoke about it for a long time. Every time we saw each other, and it was time to move past it all and to get these shows done. So and it was enjoyable from every aspect, and that's dope. And we even had Chase brought Marcus on the show and didn't know that Marcus and I knew each other.
How is that possible?
Exactly. Chase brought Marcus on the show. He booked Marcus for the show and didn't know that Marcus and I knew each other. So we had like all of these. So Marcus and I basically ran the whole show and Chase kind of played the background because we have a history.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah, because we knew each other from different things. Like Scar, I didn't know that Scar really knew. I knew that he kind of knew of him, but I didn't know he like knew him. But like, I knew him from like Extra Life because he's the head of the Raleigh-Durham Extra Life Guild around here.
Small world.
So, yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's so like, and then the just the reconnection for the last since like August and all that other stuff, just like reconnecting with a whole lot of people from the past and talking to people that I haven't talked to in quite some time. You know, people that used to be on the show, just friends in general. It's been like a summer of like personal growth for your boy, and I'm kind of proud of me.
I'm proud of you too, man.
Let's give yourself a pat on the back, man. That's what's up.
Word up.
That is all right.
But
I gotta listen to those episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's well, I would say that I would send you the shows, but I'm basically just going to make Chase do it. So Chase, you know, take notes.
Well, I did send him the one with Meef and Blue because I was showing him the layout of Appear In because they do a live show, and I was like, you know, it does a pretty good job of doing live shows and stuff.
Exactly. So yeah. So Chase, yeah, get those 2 shows with Rob. Send them to Aaron.
Sure.
We got
Thanks, Chase.
I don't say thank you to Chase.
But he's still
Chase
sending them.
I don't say thank you to Chase. It's Chase.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like Scar's like little brother or something.
Welcome to this unpaid internship.
Exactly. Don't ask about a promotion.
But see, here's the thing about having Chase around. Unlike the previous co-hosts that I've had on Scarcasm, Chase actually makes me do stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he'll be like, "Hey, we should do a game night." I was like, I don't really want to do that, Chase. And he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna what's the thing for the Discord? I'm gonna completely redo the Discord, and you should be there." Really? I gotta use Discord now? Like, you know, that type of stuff.
We should write reviews on.
Have some things in common.
We should write reviews on Steam, Scar.
Exactly. I did like 3. I made a Steam Creators Club for us. We should do reviews. I did 3.
Yes, Scarcasm is a Steam curator. We have our own store page that shows our recommended games.
How do you do that?
You do it through the
like
group.
To do that.
You do it through the group thing. You make a group, and then the group would make a.
I didn't really. Okay, I'm gonna bug you about that later because that sounds interesting. I'm sure Tiny and Mike have a bunch of indie games they would love to share with the world, right? Tiny and Mike.
And plus, it's cool because the reviews you do through a curator page is like a sentence, so you don't really have to
it's like
give a big review or whatnot. You just kind of say what you think.
It's old Twitter length.
Yeah.
It's old Twitter. Like,
I gave them money, they let me play the game.
Right. Like Chase would do like really like crazy stuff. Would be like, "Hey, there's this app called Rabbit where we can watch stuff together. Let's watch weird French horror movies."
Le killer.
I mean, well, it's like the way Netflix on 360 did that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Sync it all up.
Patched it out.
Right.
Yeah. But there is an app on Chrome where you can do that.
Oh, what's it called?
Hold on.
Well, Rabbit does a really good job at it, though. Because you can pretty much use any sort of service except for Voodoo. For some reason, Voodoo don't want to work, but Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, I mean, pretty much anything you can just... It's a browser, and you just sign into your stuff and then play the movie.
It's the Chrome extension is just called Netflix Party.
Oh, okay. It's the
same.
Okay.
That sounds pretty simple.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's dope.
All right.
I wish there was a way in Netflix to make a playlist to where if I was like, I want to watch a bunch of different shows kind of like they would appear on TV, rather than binge watching one show, I can watch a bunch of different shows at once. Like, to where it's like an episode. But it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and something. Why has no one actually came up with this? This is a concept that I would like to do for like a podcast, right? Like how people live stream podcasts. Current situation included. People live stream podcasts, but why can't I just broadcast a podcast that was already made so I can be in the chat too? Because I find it weird,
you
like
mean your
trying
own, or
yeah, like I find it weird, like in a situation like this where I'm trying to like talk and be a part of the podcast, but I'm also in the chat.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to do a reaction video
I'm trying to think
for
of
a
a use
podcast?
case for this though. Like give me a use case. I'm sorry, I'm not coming.
You know, like how there used to be that that like internet radio station, and it was just gaming podcasts. Mm-hmm. Like I would want to like submit a podcast to something like that. So like when it airs on the internet radio station, if it has a chat or something like that, I could just be there for that. I don't necessarily want to do the show live, but I would air it live, and then I would air it already created like a TV show.
So
and then
you could comment on people's comments about it. And
exactly.
Give context to things.
Yeah, I mean that was the whole.
It's like a
initial
director's cut for a podcast.
Exactly.
But live.
I think that was the original intent of Chasm, because originally we were going through Talk Shit. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that one was basically the, you know, live streaming with just audio with a chat. So that's the reason why the show was called Scarcasm Live, and we're not really live very often. But that was the original intent for the show.
We can be live more often.
I don't want to. I don't think it matters, because at this point Chase actually edits most of the shows, because the Skype update broke my recorder.
Mm. So you record as well, so
actually I don't.
I thought you recorded the OBS last time.
I think so.
There's a lot of truth coming out here. There's some.
I think so. I mean, I think
discovery.
He
told me he recorded, so there was a backup, and I almost lost mine because if you don't fix OBS to do MP4, it will default as a FMV file or something like that, and those are kind of hard to work with, and I recorded it into that, and then I was like, I finally fixed it, but yeah. So we didn't have a backup, Scar?
I never went back and checked to see if that was there. I mean, you had yours, and I thought I was straight, so I went to bed.
Okay.
So I guess what you're saying, there was no contingency the whole time. Like you just, yeah.
I mean, I think there was.
The gun was never loaded. Essentially,
I mean, it might have been like it could have been a a Brandon Lee situation, like. The gun wasn't loaded, but it went off anyway. Like,
is it still too soon for that? I don't know what.
Oh, come on, man! Like, I've been through this on several podcasts, and I'm gonna say this straight up: The Crow was terrible. The Crow is a terrible
okay,
movie.
At the time, or like going back.
Okay, I watched it years later, so I didn't watch it at the time. But like watching it like a couple of years later, it's terrible. The Crow is horrible.
No, okay, I saw The Room a couple weeks ago. That's horrible. That isn't.
I mean, that seems almost intentional?
Yeah, that's like watching like Manos: The Hand of Fate or something. That's not the same as like watching a movie that everyone says is supposed to be good, and then you not like
it. It just. I couldn't understand, how did they like, it's so bad where it's like, where was the motivation to even complete it?
Exactly.
You feel like
if you want to see motivation to complete something, if you want to see motivation to complete something that's definitely is not working out.
What did you say, Blade Runner?
Yes.
The first one?
Yes.
You're saying a lot of things today. I don't know what. I don't know. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, y'all might not be able to get jiggy with this, but I'm telling y'all,
I don't know who would. But
Blade Runner is not a good movie. It's boring as hell.
The name, okay, I'll put it this way: when I was a kid and saw like the name, and
it seems like I
thought it was more action. I will say that.
Know what I mean? Like it seems.
But I was older, so I understood it a little more. But I hear you, though.
When someone tells you about Blade Runner, you think it's going to be what Altered Carbon actually ended up being.
I've never seen Altered Carbon before.
Oh, it's actually pretty decent.
Altered Carbon's like a 10-episode series. Like,
I know, but still.
When I first heard of Blade Runner, I thought it was like a rollerblading movie. But
Roller Babies.
We are not going to talk about Rollerball. Either one. They were both terrible.
No, I said Roller Babies. That's even worse.
I don't know about no roller babies.
Don't ask.
Okay. I actually, okay, so here's the thing. I did not see the original rollerball at the time. It was like in the 80s or 70s or something like that. It's like,
no, I didn't.
So, but when I saw the previews for the remake, I thought, this looks awesome.
You're also a big LL Cool J fan.
So instead of watching the movie in the movie theater like normal people, I waited and bought it straight when it came to DVD. I was incredibly disappointed by my purchase. It was almost as like, okay,
that's like
I have been disappointed by other things that I bought on DVD, and other movies that people really love. I mean, no one likes Rollerball, but like there's some movies that people love that I actually hate, and I bought it on DVD first, and I really regret purchasing, like the Boondock Saints. I absolutely hated every second of that movie.
I've never seen that movie before.
Don't.
I mean, I'm not in college anymore, so there's no real reason to watch the Boondock Saints. Like, I mean, that's like the dumb thing to watch in, like, I don't know, freshman year of college or whatever. And then someone goes and gets a poster on their wall.
What is the actual plot of that movie?
Hey, you want to be Irish people that steal and rob a bank? Hey, our father is Christopher Walken. Let's all go rob a bank together.
That sounds like a
that's
fantastic
all I
film.
remember. That's all I remember about.
That's all rob a bank. I just met
and
Also,
the Green Goblin is kind of gay and very weird.
And a lot of Catholic imagery. Like they like bless things and then shoot people and stuff.
So it takes place in.
Pretty sure it's in Boston.
Boston.
It's very Boston.
Boston.
Actually, the person who told me how great it was before I seen it is from Massachusetts, and she told me that it was like the best movie ever. So I just went out and bought it, and I was like, "What is this?"
You gotta stop just buying stuff. Like
I don't.
But you
I don't
also didn't like The Big Lebowski. So.
I mean, that movie's 100%.
You didn't like The Big Lebowski?
I don't understand. I don't understand.
100% overrated. Like, there's nothing like.
Okay, I saw it a long time ago, so maybe it hadn't blown up the way. But I thought it was hilarious.
I bought that. That's another thing that I bought. But I bought that from Hollywood Video when they was having one of those like 5 for $20 sales. So like I don't feel as bad. But here's another thing that I feel like is grossly overrated. And people are not going to roll with me on this, but I stand firm on this.
Okay. We're not, but go ahead.
Okay. It is not entertainment related, but s'mores.
What?
S'mores.
You don't like s'mores?
I don't get the big deal of s'mores. And like every time you mention s'mores around people get really excited, like, oh, s'mores, we're going to have s'mores.
They think of camping and...
Like, no,
fire and
camping is overrated. Like, who wants to be outside? We play video games. We all play video games. Why do we want to go outside?
I don't want to go outside. I just want the s'mores. I don't want to go outside.
Like camping is like going outside, but staying outside. Like, why would I want to do that?
That all depends on how you camp. Like, go get a nice cabin.
I mean, if your camp is so good, it's like being at home. Then why go camping?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you have electricity and internet and all that kind of stuff,
we camping.
There's a different view out the window.
But you go camping so you can get drunk and like.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, in a way, it's like saying, why would anybody barbecue when you have an oven and a stove in your kitchen?
You just pull that outside. There you go.
Right?
You just bake the ribs.
Okay.
Outside.
I don't have a problem with barbecuing if you're using charcoal.
Okay.
Like if you're using gas, you're doing it wrong.
Whoa! I'm gonna
just polarizing statements across the board.
Okay, that's kind of the opposite. You would think that you would be the gas guy since you don't like camping.
That's a good point.
Nah, if you're gonna put something on the grill, like it got to be Kingsford all day.
Propane, that's the thing. Propane saves time
and so much more accurate.
Okay, charcoal is a weekend thing. You have time on the weekend. If you want to grill something like when you come home from work, you're not talking about them with charcoal.
Who uses the grill when they come home from work? Like, who does that?
I've done it.
Who does that?
I want a burger.
Do you be like, I want a hamburger? I'm just gonna turn on the grill after I've been at work all day and have people cussing me out over the phone and all this other nonsense.
I pull up in the garage. I got the car. I want some mutton.
Because you want to make hamburgers on the grill. For one, making hamburgers in a frying pan is messy as crap. And
that's true.
Okay,
it doesn't have to be,
on the grill.
Maybe the fire's too hot. Maybe
on the grill, you only get two things out of hamburgers on the grill.
What?
You get a little bit more flavor, and you get the lines. That's all you get.
That's worth it, isn't it? I mean, if
it's
it's easily attainable, it's worth it.
Is the difference in flavor that much that where you just can't make them on your stove?
Well, see, I'd ask you the same question for propane versus charcoal, though.
Well, you're not going to get the blackened in a frying pan.
I mean, you can if you overcook it enough.
Let me.
You don't have to overcook it.
Put some liquid smoke in there.
All to DoorDash. Have someone come and bring you a hamburger. It'd be great.
You know what? DoorDash is great. You want to know why? Because when you first sign up for DoorDash, you had free shipping for a month.
Really? Why have I never heard of this before? Tiny, why are you just not telling me this?
It only recently came to Delaware, so
is it different from other services or just a new one?
It's another.
It's basically the same.
Food in the vehicle being brought to your house.
It's Uber Eats, just another version of it.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same as Uber Eats.
Okay, Tiny, do you have any more Mexican places near you? Because last time I got those enchiladas, they were terrible. You know how much I love enchiladas. I was very disappointed.
There are several Mexican places, but anyway, we can go over that later.
So you tell me that Delaware Mexican food is not the best Mexican food?
I'm going to say that I tried to order from someplace for lunch the other day, and it took them 45 minutes to realize the place didn't exist anymore. So,
well, when I think of Mexican food, I definitely don't think of Delaware.
Chase, I have something worse for
you. We have a large Mexican-American population in the great state of Delaware. Just like to throw that out there.
My family and I went to Kansas for my wife's great aunt's 90th birthday, and we're in the airport. I'm like, Mom, we go to this barbecue place. No, we want barbecue. We go to a Mexican place in the airport in Missouri, and I ordered enchiladas. I love enchiladas. It's like they just took some taquitos and poured relish on them. It was so upsetting.
Relish on enchiladas?
You went to food in an airport and
had
some expectation of quality.
And that's why I said barbecue. It's Missouri. We're near Kansas.
Nah, I mean, get your boy some dry rub. You know what I'm saying?
Because we had barbecue while we were there. I'm thinking if we're in the airport, that's the safest thing. I got outvoted, so I'm looking at these relish tacos.
We visited Kansas City because my wife has some family out there, and we had to stop in Memphis, and that whole airport smelled like dry rub.
That's a good problem to have, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But we were there for 10 seconds because we were just getting on a different flight. I wish I was able to stay there a little bit longer, but because that's where I would have wanted to eat.
Dry rub is good. All right, we better keep moving before we keep talking about food. Mike, what have you been doing?
All right, so my wife set all this up, but she wanted to go to the Monster Mania show, which is one of these horror con things where they get what most people would think of as B-level celebrity types to show up and do their thing. But, I mean, the big draw headliner was Robert Englund was there signing and taking photos and whatnot. The entertaining thing is there was a guy who played Michael Myers in 4 of the movies later on.
That was really William Shatner.
Yeah. The big draw for my wife was Kane Hodder, who played Jason in 7, 8, 9, and X.
Best movie. X is the best
But
one.
he was not Jason in Freddy vs. Jason, which was disappointing.
No, but they wanted somebody...
He was too tall, wasn't that?
He was too tall. They wanted somebody that didn't dwarf over Robert Englund too much.
Boo.
That was the thing.
I love that movie though, but boo.
Yeah. That was actually a cool movie. I like that.
Yeah, we waited a long time for that. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, cutting to the chase, really. She wanted to see Kane Hodder, so we went. We stood in line, get the autograph, whatever. It actually turned out to be a really nice guy. He really spent a lot of time with everybody that walked up to his booth. He wasn't just hey, how you doing? How do you want the photo or whatever? It was just he chatted. They talked about stuff. She brought her game because he actually did, unbeknownst to me until the moment she told him, he actually did the the motion capture for Jason in the Friday 13th game, and he's just like, yeah, it took us a year and 10 months for me to do all my work. And I was like, holy crap, that is a lot. Like, I had no idea. And he's just like, yeah, I don't know. So he was like really impressed and blah blah blah, and she got the autograph, and he signed the game, like the slip on the inside cover for the case for the Friday 13th game for her. So she was thrilled. Got a picture later. The guy was nice. I mean, I don't know. He could be like an actual murderer in real life. Who knows? But at least dealing with fans, he seemed like a pretty cool guy.
It's out for PlayStation Plus.
As a free game.
Yeah. Did she start over again?
She wants to play it, and I'm just like, yeah, go ahead, whatever. Like, I'm not buying you an extra PlayStation. We have one in the house. That's it. But
you're putting your foot down. What you're saying?
Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure
because I wonder if Kane Hodder like hates video gamers after like the game that like he spent so much time working on. Everyone hates.
I would not categorize it as that. It's a lot of people didn't care for it, but it definitely has a following on each of the versions that are out there. Like people who other than my wife and the people she plays with, like I have heard from other people who like really got into the game, like crazy.
How long has your wife had an affinity for Friday the 13th? Because this was all new to me when the game came. I didn't realize she was so into it.
I don't know. I mean, I knew she was a fan. As I mentioned before, I didn't think it was like top of the top, but it's sort of become pretty close. Like she's way gotten into like trivia for like all the movies, and there were other actors at the show who like a guy who played the character Shelley from Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah.
Is that the guy who got the mask?
Isn't he like an attorney or something now?
Yeah, he actually is a lawyer, which was fun. He was a goofy guy. He clearly doesn't, obviously doesn't charge as much as like the bigger name dudes, but he still charged for an autograph, and she didn't want to pay for it. And so, like on his little card, it said "Talk to me for free." So she reads it. She's like, "It says it's free to talk to you." That was it. But he also did some voiceovers for his own character in the game, so they talked about that for a minute too. One thing I was surprised at, Robert Patrick was there, and almost no one seemed to care. He just kind of just sat there behind his little desk, and like I saw two people go up the whole time we were there, and I was just kind of like, it's cool that you're there. It's neat that I'd like see you in person for real life, but I don't really want to pay to talk to you. So
I'm creepy to me. I don't know what it just.
Yeah, well,
have
that's
you seen
character.
This boy?
But that's why he worked so well in the Terminator movie, because he's just kind of a creepy looking dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in Scorpion now. That's an okay show on CBS.
Does that still exist, or did they cancel that yet?
I don't know if they canceled it yet.
Because it was not on his like card of things. It was like he Terminator, and he was in the X-Files, and then there was like one other thing.
That I was the X-Files, wasn't he, at the end, right?
At the
end. Because
like
people probably like are like, yeah, you were in the Terminator, but you are trying to take Mulder's place. I hate you now.
Pretty much.
But that's really unfair, because it's not like
fans being fair. Of course,
I'm just being facetious.
to David Duchovny at his home, and he said, "You're off the show. I am taking over." He accepted a role when
he should have turned it down.
It's my show, punk.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is really weird to me now, because David Duchovny is like the only one that still wants to continue to do X-Files at this point.
Is it the money?
I don't know.
I loved him in Californication. Didn't watch very much X-Files.
I watched neither. I watched more X-Files though. I don't think I've ever seen Californication. Mike, there was a question in the chat from Beef about whether your wife likes Friday the 13th or Backstreet Boys more.
You'd have to ask her, but that could be flip of a coin.
No, that's Backstreet Boys all day.
No, wait a minute. Sorry, not Backstreet. Not
I'm sorry,
Backstreet Boys. I get them confused all the time because I don't care.
New Kids
on the block.
I would say she likes New Kids on the Block more than Friday the 13th, because she and my wife talked about that for like 2 hours or something.
Right. She will happily.
She and my ex-wife actually went out to a show.
There you go.
They do that.
They are fans.
Yeah, she was super hyped, like sending me text messages. I'm at the show. Like, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, that could be true. It could be true.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail you. I don't want to.
That's all right. I mean, like in the end, like the show was all right. It's really not that large of a space, so it's like other than walking around to vendors and looking at trinkets and getting your autographs or pictures with the people who showed up. There's not a whole lot there. Like they were playing Halloween and Friday the 13th and stuff, movies for free. Like there was like two different like mini theaters. It's basically like somebody put a DVD into a projector and the first thing that pops up that it was a disclaimer that says not for public display use or whatever. It's like, oh, okay. I guess they don't care. Nobody else does either. So it's fine.
Sounds like the perfect place for Chase.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe.
I mean, they're all over the country, so this is the time of year they get real big because, people cash.
Were there any French horror stars there?
Stars, I don't think so. Although, let me see. What the kid, who's obviously not a kid anymore, who played Short Round and whatever his name is in the Goonies was there.
Data, yeah.
Forgotten his real name, but he was there posing, taking, doing interviews, whatever. There was other people. It was like one or two. I was like, oh, I know who that is or whatever, but I don't know. I kind of forget. There was one vendor who was selling. I mean, there's lots of weird DVDs and VHS tapes and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that's weird old. Nobody knew what that was. Like terrible horror movie. There was one that like kind of specialized in like adult themed horror, like garbage movies, and one of them was laying out with little post-its covering specific things on the case, but it was called Dick NATO, and it was exactly what you assume it to be.
Okay.
So
see, man, they took my idea.
I
mean, they took my idea.
Exactly. I'm sorry, Chase.
Because I had that idea to where it would be like Sharknado, but like the tornado goes through like an adult factory, right? And it picks up all the adult toys, and the name of the movie would be Pornado.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I don't know which one it was. I didn't see the last two or three.
Well, the title.
When what was the actress's name? Tara
Reid.
Tara Reid gave birth to a child inside of a shark as it came into the Earth's orbit and crash landed on a beach. Cut her way out with her own arm, and then gave birth. So just handed the baby out of the hole she cut in the shark. I was like, wow, this movie.
Yeah, I only see the first two. I think I'm good.
I saw the first 4. I think I missed the last 2. And if you don't watch them live, forget about it. There's no point watching them. You have to be there, experience it as a community of people with nothing better to do.
Well, you have to have something to go with it because on its own, those movies are pretty darn terrible.
Yeah.
And that was the last one, apparently, the one that was on that I missed. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's it. I'm good.
Tiny.
Moving on. Tiny, what have you been doing?
Yo, I was at a baby shower this weekend.
Those were fun. Did you guess all the
showered
names
with
right?
a baby?
Yeah, that's what that is.
That's weird. Okay.
No, it was
It's available on Steam.
My buddy Brian, who comes over to the Extra Life, our Extra Life event every year. Him and his wife are having their first kid. I said, "Oh, hey, the stuff I got you. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to tell even without a card if you don't open the card." So they're doing they're opening gifts, and I had gotten like a bunch of like superhero onesies and the Mustachifier, and like my first trip to Wakanda gold book, and his
my man.
And so his sister just yells out from the back of the room, "Wait, is that the gift Dave got?" And I'm like, "Why do you gotta make assumptions like that? Because everyone's wearing."
Show them who you are, but okay, that
No,
I'll work with that too.
That was. I'm pretty sure there were people in the room that already thought I had made a mistake by getting something from Black Panther. I'm like, no, that was great. Fuck off. Anyway, but single guy at a baby shower, so that's always fun.
That's actually the title of the game on Steam. Sorry,
I'm pretty sure I've been in that situation before. That's not that. Baby showers are fun, man.
Whoa, time out. When was the last baby shower you went to as a single person? I just want to know this. Like,
well, okay, I was single until. Never mind.
Yeah, like I'm sorry. What?
Okay, fair enough.
Sounds like a long time ago.
It was a very long time ago.
So anyway,
but I didn't say the word baby, and I won.
I've never been invited to a baby shower because, like, I'm a dude.
No, well, it's funny you say that because, in my experience, that's completely gone away.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was muted. I've been to a few. They're actually pretty fun. Guess what? I always win that one contest where you have to use like a ribbon or something like that to you kind of like put a ribbon around yourself and you cut it off, and like the closest person that has like the mom's actual size around her belly wins a prize. Like I always win that because I'm fat and I just poke my stomach out, and then I always win.
That's a real honest game that I don't know a lot. Just played at a lot of baby showers I've been to. No, I mean I don't know. At this one, you wrote messages on diapers that they're going to use. Like I guess
use them.
Oh yeah, well because it's on the outside, so like it's not touching the baby's skin. But like, just checking. I guess there's supposed to be words of encouragement or whatever. Like, I have no idea what the right. I'm
strong.
Good.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm good.
I've never heard of that one.
Don't call me. I don't know.
Good advice.
Stream strong, my child. Yeah, stream strong.
I Change from within.
The activities. Just talk to people, said hi and whatnot. But I don't know. This is like I've been to probably a dozen baby showers or whatever. So, but yeah, again. Mustache Fire, the golden books, like
you've been to a dozen people like to procreate, don't they?
I mean, let us go back to the year 2010 or whatever. 19 weddings. Yeah. Some of them gonna have babies.
Everybody's still married though, right?
No.
Oh.
I mean, okay. You know one person, he shows up to our Extra Life thing, and he's no longer married.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what? I'm glad he's not married, because she was terrible.
Yeah. Yes.
He deserved better.
100%. I know you're just repeating things that I think you heard me say or whatever, or for the fun of it. But
she didn't deserve it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Anyway. Other than that, I watched Hulu's The First, which is it's about the first mission to Mars or whatever. Sean Penn's in it. It's a pretty interesting...
Sean Penn's in it, huh? Does that help or hurt the show?
Sean Penn is jacked in this. I mean, he's supposed to be an astronaut, so it makes sense. But
why would they send a geriatric to be the first mission to Mars?
He's the mission leader, and actually, there's a whole thing that he gets taken off the mission and then stuff.
Because they looked at his driver's license and realized he was too old to fly.
Does he take a picture with a fugitive Martian?
This happens in the first 20 minutes. A tunnel? You get introduced to him, and then they're talking to all the astronauts. They're about to launch for the mission or whatever. They never give any of the astronauts last names. I'm like, all these people are going to die, and 100% blow up the shuttle in the first 20 minutes of the first episode.
They handed all of them a red shirt as they boarded.
Well. The crazy thing is, so
you're gonna die.
So the company that is doing this, that's working with NASA to do it, has to do the diagnostic on what happened. And it turns out at the very beginning of the show, you see them all kiss this quarter for good luck, and then they hand it to the attendant that's on the arm. So apparently, this as the diagnostic goes, because they find a piece of metal that doesn't match any of the metallurgy for the shuttle. The attendant dropped the quarter. It lodged itself in one of the release valves on one of the jettison tanks. So when it jettisoned, the tank lid forced the quarter to accelerate and shoot towards the main shuttle as if a rifle had been shot at it. And that caused a chain reaction in the main engine to blow up the whole shuttle.
So the moral is superstitions are really stupid.
The guy dropped a quarter. And it's what? So yeah, anyway, it goes through like they're still trying to like justify why we should still fly, and then like all this stuff, and trying to continue the mission because everything. If you remember, like The Martian, same idea. Hey, there's a vehicle in orbit that they're going to go dock with, and that's actually what's going to take them to Mars because there's no reason to bring. You spend most of your energy getting out of the atmosphere. So
I never saw The Martian. Thank you for spoiling it.
Okay. How we're going to get to Mars is we are going to build a spacecraft in space, and that's going to be the main thing that will essentially fly people to and from the planet. That will then stay in orbit. You will land on the planet in a descent vehicle, come back up in an ascent vehicle, and then it will bring you back.
No, you bring everything you have. Single point of failure if you crash. We are what we have.
So...
But does Sean Penn cry?
Well, so there's a whole thing about his daughter being a drug addict, and yes, he cries several times in that movie.
Because
he's also just jacked the whole time. I'm like, they had to have just injected steroids into him like moments before the scene because like there are veins, and I'm like, that just doesn't look comfortable. Like, I don't know why this man is so veiny.
So Sean Penn normally cries in just about everything he's in.
Yeah. And also his crew just died because someone fucking dropped a quarter and it destroyed the shuttle.
Wait, I know it's been a while since I've been on the show, but we cuss now?
I let it fly every once in a while. Aaron is 100% writing it down right now to edit it out.
Okay, because you let a few fly so far, and I'm like, well, we can do this now?
Aaron, anyway, that lady was a terrible person. Anyway, whatever.
It was worth it.
Yep, 100. I mean, they're all worth it because I really don't have to do anything.
Oh, man.
So, anyway, but yeah, Aaron, what about you, buddy?
My desktop died, partially due to just stupidity. When you're trying.
Did you pour water on it?
No, like when you're
stop the power supply fan.
I was having some overheating problems, so I figured let me just clean off all the thermal compound from the CPU.
Did you turn it off and turn it back on?
Oh boy, did I! So when you're removing, the thermal compound, be careful to like not shift the entire CPU out of the socket and then smear the thermal compound onto the socket on the motherboard. And
wait, why did you not take the CPU out of the?
Because I forgot. Let me just get this corner. I don't need to take it. I'll just get this corner, and then when it all just slides to the left, the regret just sets in of just, man, what have I done?
Crisscross.
I was going to say, yeah, when your CPU does the electric slide,
pretty much. So yeah, that happened. So I've been running everything off of my laptop. So, which I don't know, it's working. I don't know. What else? I'm still watching Black Mirror. I'm on the last season. I think I have 4 more episodes. I love that show.
It's so good.
I'm gonna tell you, good, man.
I'm gonna tell you. There's one episode that I can talk about at length forever. I can like the entire history of you is the episode that I can talk about forever.
Yeah,
that episode is everything. But also the very very last one is one of those. You said you ain't finished, so that's but that also has Shuri in it.
Oh, Letitia Wright.
Yeah, she plays in that.
Yeah.
She plays in that episode, and that's actually really good because it's almost like there's a lot of stuff around. It's called Black Museum, but there's a lot of stuff around that's callbacks to other episodes.
I heard that, yeah, because I was watching the episode Archangel. I noticed that the daughter had a Tusk poster on the ceiling, and I was like, okay, I got you.
Yeah. Especially this season, they drop a lot of that stuff in there, and like, there's a lot of stuff like when someone is like, sitting down eating or something like that. If you look at what's on the TV and like the ticker of the TV, they have all kinds of stuff from other episodes.
So a lot of it, everything kind of does happen in the same universe.
Yeah, like the lady who who got in trouble for killing somebody and then ended up in that one episode, or there's on the ticker the guy from the first episode gets divorced or something like that.
At the very least.
Yeah, it's if you pay attention, it's all in like the tickers of like what's happening in the background.
Paid attention. And then somebody told me that the song the woman sang in the second episode is played at some point in every other episode or most of them or something like that.
It's in quite a few episodes. In the one of the was it the White Christmas one?
That's one of my favorites, man. That one
that was the song that, remember, that guy thought that she was singing to him.
Yeah.
She sang that in the bar like that and then like there's another episode where a girl is listening to it in the car. That song is everywhere in the series.
And that was with those robotic bees. That was like a movie.
Yeah.
It was like an hour and almost 40 minutes.
Yeah.
This is legit. Like,
but yeah, White Christmas was long too. It's about an hour and a half.
It was excellent though.
That was the one with the dude from Mad Men.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was like an hour and a half too. But all of this stuff is so interesting because it's like one step off from something that could actually happen.
Yeah, that's what makes it that much creepier.
But like I said, the entire history of you, like deconstructing how that one moment ruined that guy's life. And
imagine being able to argue with somebody and they disagree, and you just put it up on a television, like what they said, what you saw, just like, whew, it's rough. And then not live like that.
No, it's because, and then that whole episode is because he just couldn't let it go.
But the reason he couldn't let it go was legit.
It turned out to be legit, but like, bruh, you at some point you got to be like, yo,
yeah, but I think, would you rather know or just keep living?
I
guess ignorance would be bliss.
No, going through what I've been through in my life, I'm gonna say I'd rather be ignorant.
Wow. Okay.
I'd rather continue being ignorant.
Okay. I have no rebuttal for that. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, in his situation, I'd rather just be like, all right. I mean, I guess like it ain't got nothing to do with now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Chase, have you seen Black Mirror? You're on mute.
I have not.
No, you should really watch that show.
We had talked about doing like a recap of like the episodes, but we never actually got around to that because like he watches like stupid anime stuff all the time. So
sorry, Chase. I'm not much into anime, but hey, to each their own. Chase likes anime. Nothing wrong with that, right?
Scar's not a to each their own thing. He's like, what you do is stupid. What I do is awesome.
No, what I do is stupid also. Like
that's fair, if nothing else.
What I do is stupid, but it's stupid in a good way.
Okay. All right. Next thing I was going to say is apparently West Side Story is being remade and directed by Steven Spielberg.
Why?
That's what I said. I love West Side Story. I don't understand why Steven Spielberg would direct West Side Story.
Yeah, are there special effects?
Are there robots or something? Maybe they're taking like a different spin on it.
Steven Spielberg, robots, we might want to leave that alone. I've seen AI. We might want to leave that alone.
Yeah, that was bad. And the last thing I was going to say, I did pick up Tales from the Hood 2. It's out. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Keith David is in it. I'm looking forward to watching this.
Yes.
I was a big fan of the original.
I almost cussed because I saw your yeah. Yeah. I saw your post. And your post had the line that I wanted to use right now, but I'm not going to because I don't want to cuss.
I respect that. And it's also less work for me.
Yes. I mean, I could make a lot of work for you.
Please don't.
Okay. All right. We already went past me, and I didn't really have much to say other than just talking about myself. But I want to say one thing. Yeah, and all of the things that I don't like. But I would say one thing that I really do like, and I think it's a really, really good thing, and everyone should watch it, The Good Place. Everyone should watch The Good Place. It is greatness.
What is it about?
It is about Kristen Bell.
Is this they're like in purgatory or something?
No, she's she dies and she ends up in in their version, heaven and hell and all of that kind of stuff doesn't really exist. It's kind of right, but it's kind of not. There's just a good place and a bad place.
Right.
And so she ends up in the good place and quickly realizes that she's not supposed to be there. And hijinks ensue from there. Okay. And Ted Danson is phenomenal.
He's a bartender who used to be a baseball player?
No, actually, in the second season, very briefly, he does play a bartender.
Okay.
But it's very briefly, and apparently there were talks and like, okay, are you okay with doing this type thing?
Can you dry out this glass? Are you okay?
Right. No, and look, I'm gonna tell you this. He does the thing where he throws the towel over his shoulder and everything.
He has to. If you're gonna go that far, I mean,
yeah.
Did he bet the bar?
Yeah, but it's just really good. And you know, you can't really say much more than that because it's all spoilers. And there's a huge twist that happens on the very last episode of the first season.
How many seasons are?
There's 2 seasons on Netflix. The 3rd season just started. I watched the current episodes. Well, they put 2 back to back, so I watched the current episodes on the NBC website.
Has it fallen off yet? The quality?
No.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it's a sitcom, so you know, on Netflix, the first 2 seasons they're 22 minutes each.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, that you can eat that up, and you know, during an episode of GameEthus, you can probably eat up a whole season. Just boom,
pretty much
knock them out.
Yep.
Right. Cool.
Also Dragon Prince, which is only 9. It's only 9 episodes, so like I did that in an afternoon.
And I want more now.
The slowdown is so annoying in that show.
I don't notice it.
It was on purpose.
What?
No, that's what they say. It's an artistic choice, which seems like hot bullshit. It just seems like we don't know how to
roll
render
tonight.
Like, I feel that anyway. I feel they're all justified, but like no, like time. Like it's like it slows down, and I'm like, what? Why? Like, is there a problem with my network?
Yeah, it does. There's times where you're just like, is this dropping frames?
Yeah, like what is going on here? Like, and the thing is, the audio continues, so I'm obviously not dropping frames because the audio's fine. Anyway,
right? They called it. They wanted it. They said that they wanted it to be like old animation, where sometimes the frames just kind of drop off, and it. You know, I did not really notice it when I watched it. Just like you, I didn't really notice it.
Tiny was apparently furious.
Afterwards,
I'm like, this is annoying.
Yeah, afterwards, when I saw, I was watching a video about it where someone was kind of doing a review. They kind of talked about it, and then they showed examples. And I was like, oh, snap, I didn't even notice that. And then, but I noticed it all, like, the next weekend, like, you know, like last weekend, when I had Pooh Bear, me and Pooh Bear watched it in the afternoon also. So I noticed it all then, but I didn't even pay too much attention to it the first time at all.
I Googled, like, Dragon Prince frame rate, because I was like, I don't know what's going on right now.
I don't think I noticed it either. I just wanted more episodes.
Anyway,
and Aunt Amaya is awesome, and we need more of her.
I think she's awesome. I think the weapon she wields is pretty bad, but
that's the one.
Like that's.
I guess I'm trying to censor myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very much she's like the Crusader in Diablo. You know what I mean?
Oh my.
Like, this is comedy you come to GameEthus for. And yeah, 100%.
I think the next time if I start a new character on Diablo, Amaya, it's gonna happen.
All right. Well,
on your new Switch, huh?
Comes out on Switch soon, so.
I'm still like real iffy on Nintendo products. I don't buy Nintendo products. I just can't. It seems interesting that like some of these, you know, games that I would like to play, I can take with me. But
Like,
yeah, but I just
hundreds
don't.
of them.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not.
He doesn't like Nintendo because of Shaq Fu.
Yes, Shaq Fu and Mortal Kombat. I stopped buying Nintendo products at Super Nintendo because of those two games. I just can't really force myself to buy a Nintendo product. I just can't. Like, even when I bought a DS, I bought it from my cousin. I didn't want Nintendo to get any of my money.
But you said you bought it from your cousin or for your cousin?
I bought it from my cousin.
Oh, I'm like,
I bought his
for your cousin,
and then I bought it. And then I bought an R4 because Nintendo can't have my money
or any third party. Nobody gets your money.
But you're fine with their work, but they can't have your money.
But I didn't use it very much.
Like,
I didn't use it very much. I gave it to my daughter and she lost it.
So why are you so upset? Like, I don't like.
Super Nintendo was my last hurrah. Like, Shaq.
But what happened?
Okay,
Shaq Fu.
Mortal Kombat.
That was on the Sega Genesis.
I was going to say Shaq Fu was on the.
But see, here's the thing: the one on the Genesis had way more characters, and it was a way more awesome game. That's the reason why I didn't like Shaq Fu on the Super Nintendo.
Garbage.
It's a bad game.
Don't do that. No.
The new one is bad.
It's like, hey, is this smelly garbage or really smelly garbage?
And the Genesis had better sports games.
Well, I didn't care about that.
Yeah,
and it had.
All I
mean, I just need to play NBA Jam. I was good.
before the Xbox, I was the sports gamer guy. I only really bought Madden and Live and all that other stuff. So, yeah. So, but like, yeah, that and then the no blood in Mortal Kombat just really kind of turned me off, and I was done with Nintendo after that.
That was just the original Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 2, a much better game, had blood.
Didn't matter.
They had already made you upset.
I was already done. I was already done, son. I was out of here, B.
He was in the console wars before they even started.
I'm saying, he pioneered them.
Like, keeping them alive, like,
for whatever reason.
Yeah. I'm not very nostalgic for a lot of things. I realize that I used to say that I'm not very nostalgic at all, but there are some things that I'm nostalgic for because probably if they do Mass Effect remakes for the Switch, that might be a purchase at that point. So there are some things that I'm nostalgic for, but like Nintendo games is not something I'm nostalgic for at all.
Okay.
And they excel at making Nintendo games. And
me and Aaron are going to spend an hour talking about the N64 Classic now. So,
yeah. Well, since we're talking about games, Chase, what games you been playing?
Well, before I go into games, let's go into games. My real life stuff isn't important.
The choice is yours, my friend.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if you guys heard of this game, but I finished Valhalla, which I've been talking about that on Scarcasm a little bit. It's kind of a different game. He said nobody cares.
I'm listening.
But yeah,
this sounds like something Aaron's going to be real interested in.
Yeah. This is very much an Aaron type of game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is a
wake me up in 20 minutes.
It is a cyberpunk bartending game. To where
those are words I never thought would fit together. But
it takes place in a cyberpunk world, and it plays kind of like a visual novel, like how the story progresses. Mm-hmm. But you mix drinks and serve them to patrons that come into your bar, and they complain or whatever, and you have to remember their orders, or you have to remember their if they say, "Oh, give me the usual," you know what that is or whatnot. But I was actually kind of surprised that it was such a long game. I thought since I paid like $3 for it on a sale, I was like, yeah, this is going to be like a short little, interesting little thing. But it was like 18 hours. So I finally finished it, and the story was really good. It had a really heartfelt ending. And I heard that there was like multiple endings. There was like a bad ending and a good ending. I got the good ending, but I wasn't really trying because I do have a little pet peeve when people are like, the first time they play a game, they're looking up everything to make sure they get the good ending the first time around. I'm like, well, you're kind of missing out on the whole point. You kind of, first time you play through organically. If you don't,
for discovery.
If you mess up, then, and you want to get a better ending, then you go back, But, and then another little neat thing is there's multiple endings for certain characters or whatnot. And I wasn't trying for those, and I got 3 of those at once. So I guess they play depending on what you do. I don't know how I got them or what I had to do to get them. I guess I can look it up. But it was really cool. Like, it was actually really well written and had really cool characters. But it is a really messed up world. I mean, it is cyberpunk. Like, one of the characters is a sex robot who is designed to look like a 13-year-old. But cyberpunk, corporations own everything, and money, whatever someone's willing to pay for, that's what goes, because there's really no government. So that's cyberpunk. But yeah, it was good, and I did half of my month of Persona 4 charity, which is my kind of extra life thing I'm doing this year, and to where if you know anything about Persona games, they kind of go through like a year, and each part of the game is like a month or whatnot. So I'm matching the month with the month that I'm playing. So this month is October, and I did half of that. So this weekend I'll do the other half of October. But yeah, that's still trucking along. And we're going to do an Extra Life kind of get together at my house on the day of Extra Life, and Scar may be of attendance. I'm not sure.
I may. I'm trying to go to a band battle in Greensboro the day before, so I'll already be in North Carolina. Nice. So it's a good chance that I will be there Saturday.
You're gonna come at my house and be like, "There's no brass section here." And be like all hacked up for band battles and be like, "This ain't as good as the last thing I was here in North Carolina." But
that's not fair.
It's not.
Yeah, and I was playing some Borderlands on PC with the wife because she got a laptop, and I was kind of testing out. I shared my library with her to see if certain games would play on it, and Borderlands on low settings plays at 30 frames per second. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get that for you and let's play. And so we've been playing that, which has been super fun to get back into Borderlands 1.
Oh, the first one. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because I haven't played that in forever because it never got remastered. It kind of got left behind. But the PC version still looks great, for its time, I definitely see a difference when I go in there to help her set things up on the TV, because I had it set up on the TV, put the laptop to the TV, and then have her with a Xbox controller. And then I come back in here and I'm like, holy crap. This is like a totally different game because I'm like ultra settings, like 65 frames per second. But yeah, that's been fun. And I played a little bit of Overwatch. I got it for like less than $12 because of the Humble Bundle monthly. And I'm guessing that was the October one because in a few days there's going to be a Halloween thing for Overwatch, which is actually co-op. Which, I always dig the co-op type things more than but even though Overwatch I do enjoy because I get to play a role. I'm like a healing, I mostly play Lucio, and, I play my part. And play more Tales of Berseria. That was another one I got through Humble Bundle. So, I don't know if, it's a Tales game. It's pretty good. But I did play some Killing Floor 2, not really, because after the update for the Halloween thing, we couldn't get into any servers, nothing was working, I couldn't get into it. Would be like, oh, the game needs to update. I'm like, I had literally just updated it, and I looked on the forums, or the Steam, like the community little post or whatnot, and a lot of people are having the same issues, so I'm not sure they fixed it yet, but yesterday I couldn't get into anything.
I played it when it first came out, so it's been a while.
Yeah, and that's Killing Floor 2, but we don't really play Killing Floor 1. For one, Scar doesn't do mouse and keyboard, and Killing Floor 1 doesn't have mouse and.
It's not a Killing Floor VR game.
Yeah.
I played on PSVR, but I only played it once or twice. It seemed pretty cool.
And what they did for the new update, it's the Halloween update. So all of the characters, all of the Zeds have different, skins. One of the skins is one is one of the regular Zeds with the VR goggles on, as a nod to their VR game.
Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't know because it didn't work for me, but I did get it for it because it was like $6 through CD Keys, and we'll try to get some Killing Floor game nights if it works on the PC.
Yeah,
if anybody has it.
Getting a game on PC started is the absolute worst. When I play on Xbox and when I play on PlayStation, I have no issues. Yes, I do. I own Killing Floor on all 3 platforms. I love that game.
But what's weird is on Amber's laptop, it loads in 20 seconds.
What?
I'm like, how? Why?
Why here?
Yeah, but Killing Floor on PC is you press the button to start and go make a sandwich. It's kind of like the when you installed Metal Gear on PS3 and it installed so slow, they actually have instructions go ahead and get a cigarette, go chill out. We got this. That's basically starting Killing Floor on PC.
Yeah, it's really bad. It takes well over 2 or 3 minutes to start it.
That's a long.
But once it gets started, it's fine. Loading maps and all that stuff is fine. It's just starting the game.
We all knew there'd be sacrifices.
Yeah. So that's it for playing.
Mm-hmm. Right,
Unless anybody wants to interject on, Tales of Berseria.
Okay, that's along the lines of the other Tales of things, right?
Yeah.
Symphonia, Harmonica, Hypnotica.
Absolutely.
Metallica.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Berseria is. I played a little bit of Zestria, and I didn't really like it all that much. And Berseria has more of a darker. It is very teen angsty, but it's kind of cool in a way because it's different for Tales games because they're normally really whimsical and
they seem really bright and cheery.
Yeah, when the main character in Berseria, she is super angry. She is almost an anti-hero. She is going to kill the person who wronged her and whoever gets in their way. So it's definitely kind of a step in a different directions for a Tales game. And it's if you are kind of interested in JRPGs but are kind of turned off by turn-based, it's not turn-based, it's all action-based, like Hacker's Life. So,
cool.
All the Tales games are. So yeah, that's me.
All right. Scar, what have you been playing?
I have not played a whole lot of the games that I've played. I just play a little bit here, a little bit there. Game time is really short. But I play a lot of RimWorld. I have over 200 hours. And
that's a lot.
Yeah. That and Prison Architect, I have over 200 hours in each. Almost 300 for Prison Architect.
Isn't that free on Xbox now?
It is free on Xbox, but the console version is inferior. Because while it was being created and they were going through their, it was an early access game. So while they were going through their alphas, at some point, I think it was Alpha 19, the console team kind of split off from there. So a lot of the things that are in the PC version, like being able to do a women's prison and some of the other things, had to be put on hold for the console version because they separated at that point. But the biggest problem that I have with the console version is the PC version has a constant banner on the side giving you basic ideas of what's happening in your prison and helping you keep track of the grants and all that kind of stuff that you're doing. And you don't have that. You have to actually press a button and go look for that stuff in the console versions, and it's less enjoyable on that aspect. I do like it. I've played a pretty decent amount on PlayStation, and it's cool, but I just think that the console version is inferior. But if you do want to learn how to play, watch someone play on PC so you'll understand exactly what you need to do on console, because it works a little bit differently. And they don't explain everything. Even when you go through like the tutorial missions, they don't really explain everything. So like watching just a average PC player will increase your enjoyment of that game quite a bit.
See, Scar likes niche games. He just doesn't like the same niche games that I do.
Yeah, but yeah, I started a new playthrough on RimWorld because they updated the game, and that's going well so far. None of my people have died, but there's been times where everyone has died because they would do like a solar flare where all of my electronics stop working for a while, and then they send a manhunter pack of like huskies or something, and yeah, all of my guns don't work right now. So great game, like jerk. That game really throws you a lot of depending on what you have it on. I try to play on Randy Random. They have different storytellers and they work in different ways. Cassandra Classic is just it starts easy and then kind of ramps up over time. And Phoebe Chillax is for more of the people who like to build their colonies. And like the action is like a more spaced out. And then Randy Random is random and he can just do anything. And at any time, he could do something nice for you. He could do something, like turning off all your guns and then sending some huskies, like, 40 huskies at you when you only have 8 people in your colony.
That was a lot of huskies.
Yeah.
The husky to people ratios.
Right. Seems off.
Yeah. But it's Randy Random. So, his name is Randy Random for a reason. But yeah, I really enjoy that game. I have played some Rock Band. I thought my Rock Band stuff didn't work. Like I went and got my Rock Band stuff out of my storage. I haven't played since like December. So I got my Rock Band stuff out a couple weeks ago, plugged everything in. I tried to play, nothing was working right, and I thought that my stuff was broke because I had it in a storage unit. And I was like, did the storage kill my Rock Band? And no, I forgot that I switched TVs and I had to do the calibration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once I did the calibration, everything works. And
it's always good to come back to that game.
Yeah, man, it is the best party game. Period. Left 4 Dead is second.
I was going to say Jackbox Party Pack, but okay,
depends on the party. Yeah.
No. Rock Band is the best party game. Period.
But there were parties in Jackbox Party. Okay.
No.
Overcooked.
Only if you got Rock Band with a projector and you do Rock Band on the side of a house.
That's not your house. Annoying somebody else because it's on their house. Yes. Thank you, Chase.
Yeah. That does sound like fun. I enjoy Rock Band quite a bit, and I was having fun just being back. I even played guitar for a little bit, and I rarely play guitar. I usually sing or play drums.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at singing. If I show you
like
all
playing the guitar?
No, I'm not, because I can't just. Something mentally, I have something I can't play past medium.
Like I can't either. Don't feel bad.
They introduced that last button after medium.
Yeah. Well, see,
with that orange, I'm toast.
But see, here's the thing: all of the Rock Band 3 and 4 specific songs, even when you're playing on medium, they just randomly throw an orange in there anyway.
Yeah, they do. It always throws me off.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and then I just try to, I large hands, so I just try to, send the pinky over there real quick and come back. I was like, I don't want to lose my hand position.
Handle that.
Yeah, let go on over there. But yeah, man, it's awesome.
You got to play with the pinky on real guitar, so maybe they're trying to teach you.
But other than you, does anybody else here play real guitar?
A long time ago, I knew how to. Like,
made a sound, but I don't think that counts.
You never lose it, right?
I haven't touched it. Yeah, I haven't touched a guitar in 15 years. So I mean, I guess it could be there.
Yeah. And then I play a little bit of 2 Point Hospital. I really love 2 Point Hospital. It is the spiritual successor to Theme Hospital.
That's what I heard, yeah.
And it's basically if someone made Theme Hospital now, and it is really good, is very, very challenging in certain areas, certain hospitals, because you go to different ones. But in this one, you can go back and forth. Like, at any point, you can leave the hospital that you're on and go back to a previous hospital.
Like in the middle of like surgery. You know what? I'm out, y'all. I'm gonna
you could
grab my lunch and get out of here.
Yeah, at any point,
take this pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah. At any point, you can go back to the world map, and it also helps you, because if you're in a hard place and you have to do a lot of research and stuff like that, go to a hospital you already finished that has a research lab and make them do all of the research, and you can carry that back to you with the one that you're doing. So,
it's like real life.
Yeah, basically. But the only problem is I only have one person on my Steam list that actually plays the game. So, like, I only have one person to compare everything to.
Who was that?
It's homie Stu, Casual Terror.
Okay.
Geeks for the Win podcast. Oh, it's your boy. My man Stupendous. But yeah, so there's other stuff that I want to play. I rebought both of the first two Saints Row games.
The first two.
The first two.
Well, I mean, that first one was dope because
two is the apex. 2 is the apex. Like, let's be real. 2 is the apex.
Mike, you have any response to that, Mike?
So you're saying you didn't like 3 as much as 2?
3, okay. I like 3 a lot. And 3 had some really good moments, especially with their music choices. Like when you first get and you have to clear out that first area, and Kanye West Power is playing on loop in the background, and like at the end where you're trying to save one person or the other, and I Need a Hero keeps playing in the background. Like, those moments are great, but it was more. 3 is a little too guided for me.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah, 3 is just a little. They narrowed the focus a lot in 3, and 4 is just a dumpster fire. Actually, it's dumpster juice on fire.
I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to hear this from the guy who likes Shaq Fu. So I'm just gonna throw this out here. Like,
I liked it at the time.
I didn't like
it now.
I didn't like Saints Row 4 either.
I stopped playing Saints Row when I had to take the septic truck, and spray the houses with the tanks.
That's like the first mission in 2.
Yeah, I was like,
it can be, but
that's pretty early on.
I was like, I'm out. I played a lot of the first one though.
I don't know. The first 2 seemed like rip-offs of Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, the first one was completely, but there was not a whole lot to play on the 360 then. It was great.
Right. And it was just
when people say that like 3 is zany and 4 is 4 is just stupid, but then the
super
2 was actually pretty zany. It's just, it was more subtle. Like, it wasn't like, this is a zany game, buy our zany game. It was still marketed as
Didn't they justify that the map had changed because there was a giant earthquake in whatever the place is? And
they're different cities.
Is it Stillwater?
It's
no,
yes.
I thought
Stillwater is the first 2.
Yeah,
was Keith David only in the first one?
The first 2, yeah. First 2 are Stillwater.
No, it's not a different city. Keith David is in the first 2, but he only has a very small appearance in 2. And that's is something like you have to find Keith David in 2.
Yeah, it was more difficult than it should have been, and I felt it kind of disappointing. And then of course he just is playing himself in part 4.
Yeah, and he is himself.
Vice president.
Yeah, he's Vice President Keith David. But was it 3 that Burt Reynolds plays in that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to Burt Reynolds. You know what I'm saying?
What was that game that he was in the ad for? You're in the movie.
Steelport. Hold on.
Steelport. That actually is that it?
So Steelport is 3 and 4. Stillwater is 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yes.
Because I think they justify like why Stillwater is so different is there was an earthquake between the 2 games.
Between 1 and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
I mean,
also were
Boogie
just
Nights
like
the game.
pick your character because the guy from the first game like had a horrendous fire accident or something.
You had plastic surgery. That's why you could look different from game 1 to game 2.
And just become a female if you like too.
Right.
Yeah, but see, that leads into some of like the zaniness that Chase was talking about, because through that whole game, every time you see somebody that knew you, they always say like, you look different. Did you change your hair? And it's like the same joke, but it's just kind of silly, and it's just like, okay, I'll just roll with it at this point. After the second person says that, you just kind of roll with it. But basically what happened for most people who didn't actually finish Saints Row 1, once you finish all of the missions, they send you on one last mission. You go on a boat, and then they blow the boat up.
Yeah.
And you are still alive. You wake up like 2 years later or something like that, and everything's different. And then you recreate your character, and everyone does that same joke over and over again.
All right.
Yep. No, they're all good games.
Wish that PSP game would come out.
No.
I know it's supposed to.
I know there has been a job posting for what people suspect is 5. And hopefully they get rid of all of this future stuff and go back to straight gangster. I want some straight gangster. Like I like Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's just way too self-serious. I want some more zany.
So Saints Row, I didn't mind the craziness of the game. I just think the game was just too easy. Not really like easy in a way that, oh man, I'm overpowered and killing enemies. I mean, I'm fine with being overpowered, but it's too easy in the fact of just everything's unlocked. I didn't feel like I was like working for anything. Like I couldn't, like, why am I going to like get this car when I can just like jump and fly everywhere? There
was no reason to be in cars in 4.
Broke the purpose of like an open world.
You could just be anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
You had super speed and flight and whatnot. There was no reason to use cars.
It's kind of like the same thing that happened to Crackdown. Like once you're like you get all of your agility and all that kind of stuff. Like, why am I driving anywhere?
If you want to do
the car transforms too. Yeah.
Well, but only some of them.
Yeah.
Only the ones that only the 3 that they give you initially change. But I mean, does anybody think that the new Crackdown is going to be any good?
No, I don't see how it could be. There's been so much innovation in open world games. It has to really be something to impress.
I think it's got a chance.
I hope it's good. Don't get me wrong. I like it to be good.
I think it'll be good, but Crackdown was never a system seller. The only reason why we bought the first game was for the Halo beta.
And then the second one was such a letdown.
Absolutely. And then here's the worst part. I didn't have the money when it came out. So I bought it like weeks after the fact, and everybody had moved on. So I had no one to even try to get through that mess with.
Nobody even told you not to buy it?
No!
Dang. Sorry, man.
It's weird that like Crackdown's become
same
like
thing happened
big
with Chrome
system
House.
seller type game when it was always kind of a B game. Like, not that it's a bad game.
No.
It's just like not that. It's almost like all of a sudden everyone's getting super excited for Time Shift 2. Like, that's the big system seller.
Time Shift is a solid B title, whereas Crackdown, it's a good game, but nobody thought it was going to be good. And it's not a big game. It's just when I realized that it was a fun game, I played that nonstop till I was done with it. Like it was very
it's
addictive.
Still a solid B game, and like it doesn't seem like the game to like sell a system with, like the B
like,
or
Time Shift was like a bug riddled mess that was like I enjoyed it for what it was, but I played a lot of bad games.
I remember the poster of Time.
I feel like I remember the cover for Time Shift.
I mean, that Time Shift demo that was on the Xbox official magazine disc is a completely different game than what actually came out like 2 years later.
As well as...
Well, I mean, that's just the first thing that I thought of that popped in my head. Like, okay, like, all of a sudden, The Darkness 3 or any Vanquish 2.
There was a
like
third
any
Darkness?
I'm just saying, like,
I'm sorry.
Like these type B games, all of a sudden being a big game to come out. This is the game everyone's waiting for.
Well, I mean, Bayonetta, I feel like was a solid but not spectacular seller when it was just a game on Xbox and PS3, and then it became like a massive deal for Nintendo because they made the exclusive deal for Part 2. And now people are losing their minds over Switch releases and a third game and whatever. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, I never finished 1 or 2.
This is also the reason, like, Giant Bomb tried to do that series of B games, and then no one agreed what a B game actually was. So
they just canceled it.
Yeah. So.
Canceled it.
All right, I'm good. Mike.
So I'm still poking at Metroid on 3DS.
Plowing your way through?
Yeah, my assessment's really not much different. I think I've discovered other things about it that I think are bad. But I mean, I've gotten to the point where I will, like, I want to play it because I want to finish it, but
gotcha.
It's still not. There's nothing about it that's just like, oh yeah, it finally got good. It's like, no, it's just. I finally have all the powers, so it's like, sure, enemies don't take 3,000 shots; they're only like 12 now or whatever. Like, all right, but it's. I feel like the level design is, in some areas, just not all that great. I encountered a boss that was not a Metroid, and that fight was just. That was just a slog from start to finish. It was like, all right, there's going to be 3 different forms. The first one you're going to have to try about a dozen times to get through it. And then the second part, another dozen times. But remember, every time you die, you got to redo the first part again because it's straight through. You're not starting the fight halfway through or anything like that. And then it gets to the third, and it's like, all right, well, now I got to experiment every time. Does this work? Does that work? Whatever. And then I die. All right, I got to go through and do the whole thing again. The fight lasts like 5 minutes. It was irritating, And I said before, I thought fighting the Metroids was an irritating part of the game, but this is just lame.
That does sound bad.
So
I'm not going to start playing this again, but thank you for saving me time.
Yeah. I mean, it's, especially as been mentioned many times, like, there's so many games of this type now. This is an unspectacular version. It's not awful. It's just there's things about it I don't care for, and there's the other than the name, the Metroid name, and Samus, and it's like a remake of the worst of the 2D Metroids, because the Game Boy game is practically unplayable.
Yeah, that's my suggestion to you, Mike. Go play the Game Boy game.
No, what I actually want to do when I'm done with this is go finally play another Metroid 2 remake.
Yeah, that was good.
So and hopefully it's basically just Super Metroid Part 2. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I really haven't been playing a whole lot. I still haven't touched The Messenger. Mean to.
So good, man.
I don't know. One game at a time, I guess.
No, 17, like I do.
Yeah, I've been looking at The Messenger. It looks really cool.
Well, I hope.
No idea what you're talking
You'll
about.
like it, Chase. And if you
it's like a Metroidvania ninja game, like Ninja Gaiden.
Well, there's really no, like, it's kind of linear from what I've played thus far. But it's like the Ninja Gaiden part definitely is there. It's just, this is real smooth. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll talk about it if I ever play it.
You darn well bet.
Maybe. So, all right, Tiny, what have you been playing?
So I picked up a bunch of DLC for Rock Band 4. I finally told the Xbox to go download all my DLC and whatnot too.
You didn't make the same mistake I did. Thank goodness.
Was it it took it a week?
Oh no,
to do it.
Okay, okay. When I first got Rock Band, I have 400 and something songs. So when I first got Rock Band, I was going through the thing, downloading songs.
I refuse to do that. No,
I was downloading songs individually, and then someone said, "You do know that you could just go to thing go to that part of the Xbox and say download all of this stuff in one shot. But see, here's the problem with that. Because I have so many songs, Xbox gives you that notification for each song that you download.
Oh yeah.
So
that was fun.
So it was like a day and a half of just blink, this downloaded, blink, that downloaded,
yeah,
blink,
I turned off
this downloaded, blink, that downloaded. Oh my god, that was annoying. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, so I had done the transfers because I needed to like make sure I did those in time or whatnot. But like this was finally because like I don't remember last time I played Rock Band 4 probably was close to launch, and like for the first month they didn't have an automated way. Like they were like go through the store and download your song. Like no way, bro. I think this one was 687 songs.
Wow.
Yeah. We played a lot of Rock Band in this house. But anyway, I was just singing them on Saturday. Like, I put together just a thing and like, okay, let's go play. Other than that, I also I picked up and played through the first episode for Life is Strange 2, which is a very good game. You guys should play Life is Strange 2.
It looks interesting. I didn't play the first game. My daughter played through the first game, and I just watched.
The first game and then the prequel before those are both great.
I never played one prequel episode. I'm pretty sure I own it for something, but I've never
you probably
played
do.
It. Yeah.
But you don't need to. Like this is a clean break. Like it'll ask you one question about the end of Life is Strange 1, but like that's not very important.
Did everyone die? That's one of the options, and then it just starts.
It is the option.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
however you spell it. Yeah.
So there's one question they'll ask you. Otherwise, just like you can go straight in, and you can tell them like you didn't make a choice, and it'll just randomly choose for you. But the story about you and your brother, and the stuff that happens in your family, and you should. I don't want to talk about any of it because it's all like spoilery, but you should go play it. Like it's great. It's the third game in that series, and they are continuing the pedigree that they have started with. So
I need to play that like extra episode for.
That's the only thing I haven't played. Yeah, I haven't played the Max episode from Before the Storm.
Like that did come out, right?
It did. So, but it just seems kind of extraneous. So, but so I picked that up. I think it's like $7 or whatever for the first episode, or you can just go buy the season for $40. And then last but not least, I picked up Valkyria Chronicles 4.
You picked it up, or it was delivered to you?
I bought it, if that's the question you're asking.
Oh, okay. They sent an email out. I figured you got it too.
I did.
I've been wondering about Valkyria Chronicles. Is it like traditional turn-based, or is it like the chess type, strategy type?
No, it's so. Each encounter, so that in the combat encounters, you start from a heads-up display. You have a number of action points. You pick your resource, so your sniper or whoever's in your team that you put together, and then you go to a third-person view of that character, and they have a certain amount of action they can take from that action point you gave them, and that's dependent on like if they're a heavy, they're slower, but they have more armor, and if they're a sniper, they like it depends on the class they are essentially.
So it's kind of like VATS from Fallout.
I think I own that game for PS3, but I never played it. I sent it to Blue for a while. He played it and sent it back.
It's a real interesting one. Like you have to. It's totally anime World War II.
And that's why I didn't play it.
So like you have to
look cool, but I'm not.
Yeah, like
that.
Like you have to get past that or embrace it. But kind of like VATS, but you don't slow down. Like once you have a movement action, and then you have a fire and like a attack action or a repair action you can take, depending on what class you have. So like you can shoot, or if you're the engineer, you can use your repair tool, or so. And you only have certain number of action points you can do during the whole your round, and then the enemy gets around, and you go back and forth kind of deal. So,
get around.
But I mean, I'm playing it on Switch. Like the game seems to run great. So
I started something.
I'm playing on Switch. Like, it runs great. It looks great. The only things you have to be aware of is on Switch you have to download it. Like, if you really want to play it with the original Japanese voice acting or whatever, you have to.
Which I know you do.
Separately. No, I still have all the. I don't mind reading subtitles, but I don't have any like strong connection to these characters. Like, these are all new characters. I don't care if they speak English or not. So if I don't have to
because that's the thing with me too. Like when it's animation, it's like these aren't real people, so they can have any voice that I would like them to have. Versus watching an actual person, you can kind of tell that's not their real voice.
Exactly. So, but I mean, it's so far I'm enjoying it. Like, you're this, and everyone's like a teenager, and you're stopping the Empire. Which, if you were to look at the map, essentially it's like Eastern Europe versus Western Europe, in this whole thing. So, and the Empire is the Western, it's Eastern, and the Federation is the Western part, and you're part of the Federation, and like you all signed up because the Empire invaded your hometown or whatever. So,
well, it all changed when the Fire Nation invade.
Exactly. I mean, there's definitely some reminders of Avatar in there. So, like,
yeah, I always wondered about that because when I see like JRPG and strategy together, I normally think it's going to be that like checkerboard, like Fire Emblem type stuff, and I don't really like that. Mostly just because I'm not good at it.
Bro, if your PS3 still works, I'll send you the one that I got.
I don't have my memory got stolen, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I mean, it's the first one's on PC for like $10 or something. So,
yeah.
Like if you really, it's also
just buy a PS3 for $10. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I'd probably get it on PC
at the $10 store. Give me that one right there.
So, but yeah, I mean, it all. So, but again, I wasn't sure about how it was going to run on the Switch, so I waited till after it came out to see what people were saying.
A question in the chat from Mike J. He says, "Does anyone remember another alternate World War II strategy / RPG game that had werewolves? Operation something was in the title. I'm not going to know that.
That doesn't sound really familiar. But
I mean,
was it that? It was a 360 game, right? It was like a. I couldn't.
The thing with werewolves I can think of is the Order 1886.
Yeah.
Operation Darkness.
That's actually think of a much better game. It looked good.
Hey, well, I just had a conversation on the Dream Team about the outfit. So
the outfit
they were trying to give that game away.
I have so many of those stupid faceplates for the Xbox for the outfit. Like, that game was it's just a stupid arcade game, and that was fine. Like, that game was a lot of fun.
No, I know. I stopped listening to Major Nelson because he convinced me that game was awesome before I had a 360. So when I bought a 360, GameStop was having a buy two, get the third on some used games. So I got that as a part of my 3. And, bruh, I was like, what is this mess? Major Nelson done sold me a lie. So I stopped listening to Major Nelson.
He's right next to Nintendo now.
Like,
goes.
Yeah, it wasn't what it looked like it was supposed to be. It looked like it was going to be some, I don't know, like it looked like it was going to be like a Grand Theft Auto type game. But
you know what it ended up being? It ended up being the 360's version of Brute Force.
Ooh, you know what? I can't even argue with that one.
It was a game that looked really good until you actually
has
played
all the elements. Wait, no, it doesn't.
Right. I actually read the Brute Force book.
I have.
Why would you do this?
Okay, there was Hurricane Isabel. That's what happened.
Oh.
I ain't had no power for a week. So Isabel, that biatch, showed up on my birthday. So yeah, that happened. But like Hurricane Isabel, I wasn't doing anything. I went to Books A Million. I could still pay with cash, so I just bought some like Marvel Digest books, and then I bought like the Halo book. I bought the Flood. which is basically a novelization of the first game.
Right.
But it was actually really good because it told more than one perspective, not just Master Chief's perspective of what was actually happening. But yeah, and then I read the Brute Force book during that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. The outfit was just like a fun, dumb arcade game. But also, you got to remember, like, it was 5 months after the Xbox released? Like, early Xbox. Like, nothing out there. But also, Robert Patrick was in it, just to, tie it back to the beginning.
Like Jay said, if you want a bad video game book, I think the store near me has the Perfect Dark Zero audio book for sale.
Okay, if we're gonna do this, I have all 3 Hellbook London books somewhere around here.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
I read all 3 of them too. Like I really like that game.
Obviously, yeah.
For a very fun weekend. What else? Anyway, whatever came out to GameStop while I was working there, I probably still have one of the novels for each of the things. So the last thing, actually, I didn't even put on the list, but I woke up and I was like, I want to play a game, and I just fooled around in Grand Theft Auto 5 this morning for a couple hours. Like,
that is a game that can be played.
Pretty much, like, it's like I went to the airport and, like, hey, what can I do with a jumbo jet? And just flew it around, and then I think crashed it into a highway.
As you do.
What was I going to land it? I don't know. So, like,
it was a crash landing. So
yeah, it was fine. It just makes me like, I'm on the edge about, like, should I buy Red Dead Redemption 2 or not? I didn't really play the first one.
I don't care.
And I don't really care about the setting.
I did not think that I would care about Red Dead, but Jaybird, rest in peace, kept bothering me so much about playing Red Dead that I finally played it and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I even finished it.
That's what's going to happen with you in Persona 4.
Absolutely,
because I'm going to like bug you, and finally play it. You're like, I love this. Thank you, Chase.
Absolutely not.
Persona 4 is pretty good.
Nah, I'm good.
Like, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like, it's pretty good. Like,
I'm good. I have access to 5. I just never played it. And actually, I have access to Spider-Man, and I have not actually downloaded it yet.
So good.
Yeah, you probably play that. That's a good game.
I just don't really care. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just me, but I just don't really care.
Like, probably going to be in the top 5 games for this year for me.
I didn't even finish Dad of War.
Neither did I. Not because I didn't want to.
I got about a quarter into the game and just kind of stopped.
Yeah, I got to the elf place and I was like, I don't care about this at all.
You know what? That is something else. We were talking about someone being replaced because of their height. Kyle Barker got replaced because he was short.
But it was his voice.
But Kyle Barker got replaced because he was short, and they were doing motion capture. So they got the guy from Stargate to do the voice.
I was going to say they got Teal to go do the.
No. Yeah. They got Miles.
They got Miles from House Party. But yeah, they got him because he was tall enough.
That was 2. The Pajama Jammy. Yeah, that was 2.
Yeah, absolutely. What those? Come on, who didn't want those? The pool ball pajamas.
They were dope.
They were so dope. I wanted those so bad. But like being the black people on the show, like no one else has any idea what we're talking about.
Nobody seen House Party?
What are you talking about?
We were talking about wanting those pajamas so bad,
yes,
and no one said anything.
Shaking my head.
No,
because you also wanted them.
You have to speak up about House Party too.
Do we? Okay.
You have to. It's necessary.
I have repeatedly seen House Party 2, and yes, I would very much welcome a pair of pool ball pajamas.
Yes.
Up to and including today?
Right. I mean,
I will wear those right now.
I'm trying to say this as white as possible. So,
I thought it was another breaking situation. My bad, Tiny. I thought it was another breaking situation because we started talking about breaking early in the episode.
Y'all just left us hanging. Like,
Right,
if
for
y'all
real.
know about the,
I was
about the
literally
community
making
center.
another reference at the exact same time. Anyway, whatever. It's cool. No.
I'm sorry, we weren't picking up what you were putting down. My bad.
Anyway, where were we? Grand Theft Auto 5 is fun, and that's why I'm not playing Red Dead, I guess, was where that went. So, I don't know.
My problem with Grand Theft Auto 5 is I bought it on 360, and I got pretty deep into the game, and then I got an Xbox One, and then I got it for that too, and then I had to start all over. So I'm like, do I really want to do this?
I did.
No. I really want to do this. Like, I got in, I played around for a little bit, I did a couple of the story missions. Like, yeah, I'm good. And now I have 2 copies of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yep.
I have a downloaded version and I have a disc version, and well, technically I have 3 because I still have the 360 version. So yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to play very much more of that.
I know. It was just like I was like, I'm going to pop it in, and I played around with it. Like, it's like,
yeah.
Just wander around. I don't know. I wish I could understand the Grand Theft Auto online game, because I just feel like everyone's like a 7 or 13-year-old kid just like being annoying. So I'm like, I don't feel like knowing that stuff.
Yeah, it's like I saw a video about Grand Theft Auto Online, and someone was talking about how like the worst thing about Grand Theft Auto Online is the other players, and like how like you're just starting out. And like you're trying to do missions, but like at some point you get alerted. Everyone on the map gets alerted that you're trying to complete this mission. Right. So like some jerkhole that paid the extra money that now has a jet will just come by, shoot rockets at you, and leave. Like, and it's like, bro, I'm trying to do a mission. Like, I'm not even messing with you, but you just go hit me with the jet and then leave, bro. What is you?
Yeah, I wish there was a version of the online to where it was just the world and the NPCs and stuff, but I can just go in there with just my friends.
GTA offline.
Yeah, a role-playing server.
GTA couch co-op.
For the people who actually want to play the game.
I see, when you say a role-playing server, I just think of the Grand Theft Auto, like 3 and Vice City role-playing servers where people like follow the streets, like the stoplights and whatnot, and like drive buses around the town.
Oh. There's a video that I saw last week, and I know I'm derailing. Where they actually get a cop to play Grand Theft Auto, and they give her a couple of tasks to do, and she has to try not to break any laws while completing these very simple tasks.
Good luck.
Like going to get a haircut or something like that. Like, she has to complete these tasks without breaking any laws. Yeah. I think like as slow as she played it, I think she still broke like 4.
Oh, but anyway, that's what I've been playing. Aaron, what about you?
Let me run down my list of 45 things that So I'm playing some Marble It Up on the Switch, which I'm liking. It's a lot. It's basically like Marble Blast Ultra, just with no multiplayer, but it's the same kind of structure where you want to get to the end of the level the fastest, collect all the gems and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. It's cool. Then the levels get like fiendish as you keep going. So I'm digging that one. Pig Eat Ball came out on Steam from Mommy's Best Games. Friend of the show, Nathan Fouts.
Yeah.
How many years did he work on that game?
A lot.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's out, and there's a full campaign mode, and there's a lot. And we played the local multiplayer a bunch of times. So like, get this pig princess. This whole story, you're a pig princess, and you eat like tennis balls or something. You basically, like, most of the levels are you wanting to go and eat these tennis balls. It's like a top down view, and I keep hitting the microphone. And if you eat too many, you like barf them all up. Right. And then if you eat too many of the ones that you just barfed up too soon, you'll barf those up too. It sounds crazy, but it is actually, it's pretty fun, and it's like these huge boss battles and stuff in it. It's legit. It's just
what is this? Eating tennis balls?
like you're like a pig eating tennis balls, pretty much. Yeah, it's right up your alley, Chad. You would love this game. I actually supported it on Fig. I did like the $10 tier, so I just got a Steam key of the game. So I'm digging it. Log Jammers. Now apparently the folks make it like Log Jammers is like Windjammers. Right. But the problem is they announced it as, oh yeah, like another Windjammers game. But then people are making Windjammers 2. So I kind of feel bad for the Logjammers folks because it's like, there's a real Windjammers coming. I mean, it's different, but it's,
Logjammers sounds like another game made by the guys who did Genital Jousting.
It does, doesn't it? Or Dick NATO, yeah. I mean, basically, like your characters...
the hot collabo.
Your character's on like a log, and somebody comes out of the water and throws an axe into the the wood that you're on, and the Pong. It's like Windjammer, so you want to throw the axe into the other person's goal. That's the game. All these different weird, wacky characters and stuff. I don't know. They sent me some Steam keys, but then their Kickstarter is still up, so I'm confused. I'm like, it's out, but they're still... I'm sorry, they're making a Steam version, and they're trying to make a version that will run on the NES. So they're trying to, I think, kickstart like the NES version that will they're actually going to release as a cartridge, and they put that one on Steam and everything else. So it's fun. I mean, I like Windjammers and stuff, but it's not like, it's cool for like 10, 15 minutes, and then you're like, all right, we'll do something else. But
well, I mean, it could be still in early access. Is it still in early access?
I need to check because I'm thinking you can give them money for some version of that game. I'm pretty sure of that. So,
yeah.
What else? The Garden Between Us is still a ton of fun. Okay, I'm sorry. The Garden Between Us is still a lot of fun. That's the game where you just basically it's one button and the analog stick. You just rewinding time and solving puzzles and stuff. It's really good. Like, it's just when you watch the trailer, the trailer didn't really do a good job of conveying what it was. Maybe I just didn't understand what it was. But you have to play like this really soft, relaxing music and like these just levels that just wind up like a staircase, and you just figure out the little puzzles in them to get up to the top. And the girl can do one thing, the boy can do one thing, and they just you kind of swap back and forth. And sometimes they'll just like go on a divergent path. Like the boy will climb a ladder and the girl will go down some stairs. So like, okay, we have to split up because you don't really have a choice.
You play more off-the-wall games than I do.
Oh, just wait. I'm not even halfway there.
This is only the beginning.
This is every week, Chase. Well, this one isn't off the wall, but Creed. They released a Creed game. I guess Oculus or Vive, but it's on PSVR. They sent me a key. It's a lot of fun. Like there was a game called what was it? Knockout League. Basically Punch Out. In VR.
I was going to say, this is the Punch Out.
Yeah, awesome. That game was dope. Creed is like, it's like the fourth time I've done this. They have you do like the Rocky montage, but in the game. So it's like you're in the gym. It's like, all right, hit the heavy bag, hit this, get on the treadmill, and all you to run, you just move controllers like this. That's running.
Do you have to beat the meat?
No.
Okay.
No. And I see what you did there. Now, well,
that was surprising.
Okay, here's the thing. Now, I mean, everybody's seen Creed, right? The first one?
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Okay, I just saw it 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I ain't even mad at you. It's really good. I don't recall.
I want to see the second one, though, because I saw the preview. I saw the trailer, and I'm like, yo.
Yeah, you should watch the first one. It's good. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. There's no scene in that movie where he's in a butcher shop beating a piece of meat, right? That didn't happen, correct?
There is no tenderizing. Yeah, there is no tenderizing moment.
So I basically did my first 3 fights, and it's following the first movie, which is weird because the second one comes out like in a month. But so I did my first 3 fights, and then I finally get to like work with Rocky. It's legit though. I mean, I have put it on rookie, so it was a little bit easier, but the movement is pretty good. And they found a way if you like walk around, turn. It's pretty good.
There's no judging here, man. Scarcasm's all Nepo land. So. Yeah.
No, but they're used to me running down a list of stuff that they've never heard of. It's just, that's how we do it. Racket Fury Table Tennis VR. It's a table tennis VR game. I'm not good at that thing. I don't know. I got destroyed by the computer right before we started recording the show.
So. I'm gonna tell you the table tennis game that was on the PlayStation Move was so much fun.
The one Like
that was on the sports champ. That was on, yeah, on sports champions.
Yeah,
that was so much fun.
Are
bro.
you good at table tennis? I'm not good at table tennis, so
me neither. But I had fun with that. I had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, Mike J said he would destroy his office or living room playing Creed VR. We gotta move the furniture, man. You gotta move the furniture.
Dude, they need to make a VR ping pong game, but it's a Forrest Gump ping pong.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it. It might
and they need to do that, man. I'd play the hell out of some Forrest Gump ping pong. Oh, I don't know if...
is the final boss Bruce Lee playing with nunchucks?
Maybe.
I would try it. I would try it if I had to play ping pong against Bruce Lee playing with nunchucks. I would totally try that. And I hate VR. Like, I absolutely cannot stand the idea of VR, but I would totally do that.
Is it you get sick or you just don't?
No, I just don't. I don't want to be completely enclosed in a video game.
I don't play it that much, to be honest with you. When I do play it, it's like half an hour, and I'm out.
But it costs too much for me to not want to play it that much. You know what I'm saying?
That's the other part of it. Like, I don't see myself. I know they announced, what is the Oculus? What's the one with no cords?
Quest.
$400, great. I'm not buying that thing. Like, I'm just not. I don't play this thing enough that I spent $400 on. So it's cool, but even just hooking it up is like.
Have you played the lightsaber rhythm game?
No, Beat Saber. No, I have not played that one.
Here's the problem. The videos for Beat Saber, where those people who are probably a part of the making of that game are like really good at the game. That is, watching those videos, it looks really cool, but that is super intimidating. Like, I can't do that.
Well, I don't know. I know a lot of people.
I'm pretty sure there's difficulty levels.
Yeah, I think you could get to that level. So.
Probably.
What is that game called? Beat what?
Beat Saber.
Saber. Okay. What else? I played a game called Sinner, Sacrifice, or Redemption. This is like the most straight up like Dark Souls ripoff. Like, the game is just like no levels. You open up in a room and it's like, hey, just fight bosses. And
it sounds like a game that was like the title was created in a random video game name generator.
It was either this or like Childish Gambino Sinner. Like, I mean, it just.
Well, Chase and I actually did the Wu-Tang name generator, so we actually know our names.
What's yours?
Erratic Assassin.
Okay, Chase.
Well, it was like the Ambassador or something, wasn't it?
I don't know. Look up the show because I named it.
It was Ambassador or something.
I'll find it. You just do your thing. I'll find it because I named it the episode title that day.
Yeah, so this game, like, I haven't played a whole lot of Dark Souls, but I found myself watching.
It was Expert Assassin. Was it Expert Assassin?
Ambassador.
Is it? Did his camera freeze, or is he just being that still?
I think his your sub just went wonky for a second, Chase.
Oh, I did?
Yes. I thought you stopped breathing. It was just. I was like, is he going to be okay? No, so I mean, like, I know there's the boss in one of the Dark Souls. It's called Deacons of the Deep. So, like, you're in a room with all these different, like these monks and stuff. They all, like, there's a level, like, you're walking up and you see these stairs, and there's a whole bunch of soldiers with shields and stuff. They just start surrounding you. So it's just a ripoff of the boss battles, but it looks like fun. But it's almost impossible. Like, I fought this one ice giant with like these huge, like 40-foot swords, and his stomach is like a mouth. So if you run up to attack him, the mouth just opens up, eats you, and kills you. So it's like, well, what? I don't know. So it's really difficult. What else? Soulblight.
It was Expert Ambassador. That was your name. But it's the expert.
Yep.
So you were good at ambassading.
Yeah. I'm very good at ambassading.
That's a verb. We just made that up, ambassading.
Yeah.
I embass that. So this game called Soulblight, I played top-down view. It's another wannabe Souls thing. So many of these games, they're so difficult. Like the third enemy, I can't get by. This isn't fun. The third enemy, like give me a confidence booster or something. But yeah, these games are just rough. Since you mentioned Beat Saber, it's not like Beat Saber, but I also, since I had my PSVR on, I played a game called Electronauts, which is like a make your own music kind of thing, where you can kind of move all these different elements in and make your own beats and stuff. It seems fun. I don't know how much time I'm going to put into it though. I really want to play this game called Astrobots that came off of PS.
Oh, the Astrobot Rescue
this week. Yeah, it looks really good. You know, I love 3D platformers and platformers in general. This is like Mario Galaxy in VR.
Yeah,
I need to play this game. Like, this has Aaron written all over it, so hopefully I get a chance to play that one.
The Talos Principle is now in VR.
Isn't that really tough, or am I thinking of something else?
It's a puzzle type game, first person puzzle.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you're what, you live in a robot society or whatever, and it reminded me of The Witness a lot,
which I bought on Steam and then never played.
Good investment.
That's what you do on Steam. That's like the
you're right.
Purpose. You buy things on there and you never play them.
You know, it's funny, Chase. The Switch eShop is starting to get like that. They'll have stuff for like 39 cents. It's like, well,
yeah,
it's 39 cents.
It's 39 cents. So I mean, I might as well buy it.
I bought some Snickers the other day because I felt bad for CVS. They were trying to get rid of those. You know, they came out with those like weird Snickers, and they only had the fiery ones left.
They're pretty good.
And they had lowered the price to 29 cents. And I felt so bad. I bought two with no intention of actually eating them, but I bought two because I felt bad.
So you spent 48 cents to help out $1 billion corporation.
I was going to say you felt bad for
nice
the corporation. Yeah.
No, I felt bad for the guy that tried to convince me to buy him.
The guy behind the counter to stand next to the basket of unwanted fiery stickers. Sir, please.
Right.
I never had those, but the one thing that is nasty is the Pepsi Fire thing.
I never had that.
That was nasty.
I wish they bring back Pepsi Jazz. Like, I miss Pepsi Jazz.
I don't remember that. What is it?
Was that the coffee one?
They had the coffee one, and then they did have a coffee one, but they had like a caramel one. But the best one was I think it was like strawberries and cream.
I don't think I ever had that.
I remember Pepsi Kona. I don't remember the rest of them. So
Crystal Pepsi was bad enough. So
I don't know. They have Cherry Sprite, which is pretty good.
No,
they basically have like
remix was dope.
Yeah, it is. But they basically have like Mountain Dew, Crystal Mountain Dew now. Yeah. They just don't call it that. Like I saw it in the store. I mean, I have to buy diet soda, so I can't buy it anyway. But they have Mountain Dew, but it's clear, and I'm like, well, why don't you just call it Crystal Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
It's because Mountain Dew's owned by Coca-Cola, probably.
No, it's actually Mountain Dew. It's just clear.
Right, but I don't think they can call it Crystal.
I don't think Coke owns Mountain Dew.
I don't think it matters because it's gross.
Well, no, because Mountain Dew's available at like Yum Brands, which makes me think it's a Pepsi brand.
I think it is a Pepsi brand.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm getting it
unlike the Dr. Pepper Snapple company.
You mean Mr. Pibb?
Oh God, Mr.
You know,
Pibb's
Snapple
so
now is plastic bottles, right? It's not glass anymore.
Yeah.
Mr. Pibb ain't even freaking got his doctorate, man. I don't trust that dude.
I don't need an overeducated. Like, it's okay. Like, Mr. Pibb.
You're getting kind of robotic there, Tiny.
Okay, I thought it was just me.
I don't know.
I mean,
we didn't hear your tirade on Mr. Pibb.
Let me do these last two real quick, and I'll be out of your hair. Dimension Drifter. I got an email like, "Hey, this is game. It's it's like Doom." And I'm like, okay. I watched the video. I'm like, okay, it's a third-person game. A female avatar shooting a bunch of zombies and monsters. I'm like, okay. Terrible. Like, it's just not a good game. I don't know why they even threw Doom in there. It's not even a first person.
I was going to say, like, it's a third-person game. Why would you reference Doom in this discussion?
It was just bad. Like, it functions, but, I mean, yeah, you have guns, you run around and shoot stuff, but it's just very uninspired. It's like one of those games that, like, Steam is trying to clean up off of Steam.
Gotcha.
Well, not that bad. Like it does function. It's not like it's just an asset swap or anything, but there's nothing really to it. And the last thing is, both my two youngest daughters both asked me about playing Fortnite last Sunday, and I felt like an old man because I was sitting down trying to get these accounts set up, like just grumbling. It's Fortnite. Got me making accounts. I was just, I don't know. Then I was trying to figure out how to get them so they could play together, and I felt like a real old man.
You should have given me a call.
Just get them on Xboxes. You have enough consoles on your own.
Well, no, I had one on the Switch, one on the Xbox One, so they were good.
Okay.
So
have one play on the PC, one on the.
It's funny. Before my desktop, before I destroyed it, I did. Yeah. And you would think, hey, I can just reply. I could just. Well, I need a new motherboard. I figure I'm gonna just build another PC at this point. So that's
at this point,
I can't use the RAM because anything new needs DDR4. So
Fortnite does make me feel old. Like, I think what like me and Scar feel about Fortnite is what like old white men feel about rap music.
Yeah, no, I feel that way about a lot of this stuff. Like, I don't understand Battle Royale to begin with. Like, I just don't. Like, if I'm not good at this game, I'm gonna die early, and then I just have to start completely over. I don't even get to finish the match. Like, word? Are you serious? Like, just give me a death match. Put on some straight killer. If I lose, I lose, but at least I get to finish the match. Like, it don't make no sense.
It doesn't give you the chance to like get good.
Right. But then again, I don't understand like Minecraft. I don't get it. And like Little Big Planet. I don't want to play. Like, I had a conversation with my daughter where she was just like, well, she was talking about Minecraft, and I was like, yeah, kind of doing that whole thing, like when you're talking to your wife. And she was just like, well, you're just saying that because you don't like Minecraft. And I was like, I don't dislike Minecraft. I just don't get it. I don't get games where I got to make my own fun. I'm from the generation, like, I felt old when I said that. I'm from the generation where people made games for me. I played through the game, and then I finished the game, and I'm moving on to something else. I don't want to make my own fun.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not into Fortnite. I just can't, I just grumbled about it, but got them all set up, and they played for about an hour or whatever. And
yeah, I don't get that. I don't get PUBG. I don't get what this new Call of Duty thing is supposed to be. I don't get none of it.
I did floss after I got them set up. I'm not gonna lie. I did floss, so that's always fun.
You flossed?
Yeah.
Like clean your teeth?
The dance.
Oh. So I was literally thinking you were talking about. I flossed after I got that done. That was fun.
And speaking of being old and being out of touch,
dental hygiene is important, kids.
It really is.
Right.
Well, we can move on. I threw a couple of things on here. I know we probably should wrap up, but apparently a new Switch model's coming out next year.
Yeah, but
new as in like
it's gonna be the it's cheap. We can make it with components that are now considered the base components today. It's the same idea as how they miniaturized the Xbox board. Like, there was no difference in the SKU. It was just like, hey, this is easier to make.
It's a little better than that.
It's like how they started changing the screens on the Vita.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a Switch Pro, though, which is like what I think a lot of people are reporting it as. Like, it's just going to be a revised SKU because, hey, we can make the board 20% smaller. And
we can do this cheaper.
Right.
Yeah. All right, we agree. I didn't put the link on here, but I read an article about Randy Pitchford's assistant, over time stole $3 million.
$3 million
How did
from
he
him
not
and his
notice
wife?
$3 million?
How much money
does he have?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, when I saw the headline, I was like, how does someone steal $3 million from you?
You don't notice it.
But didn't it, wasn't the reason they noticed it was because, they suddenly were short cash on hand? Like, they went to the bank, essentially, and, there's, you have to take cash out of, your investments or whatever if you're gonna, get money out of your bank account.
So we can't just give you this house. You have to actually pay for it.
Like, I mean, it sounds like he made off with quite a bit of money. So,
It's messed up. Let's see. Google announced the Project Stream thing. I guess you can stream the new Assassin's Creed from inside a Chrome browser.
If you get accepted to the beta,
yeah,
and I think you had to have a minimum of 25.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I was reading an article on was it Windows Central that was saying, like, with Google taking that step, it's sort of a warning shot to Microsoft. Like, if you're really trying to push, and Sony as well, if you're trying to push this streaming thing, like, you have some serious competition outside of the console space.
But
yes,
no one,
yes
but,
and no, because like
everybody who oh, go ahead.
Sorry, like look at all the Google services, and like how many
use
of them
Google Buzz? I'm just saying that's what I'm using tonight.
I got a notification from Google Plus the other day, and I was like, Google Plus is still like,
yeah,
there are people here.
I have people that still on Google Plus still use Google Plus. It's like a group that I belonged to like years ago, and every once in a while they'll post something and I'll be like, this is still a thing?
Right.
I forgot it existed.
Like I just like, yeah, it's a shot across the bow for Google or for the other platform holders, but like Google changes with the wind.
They do.
Yeah.
But they have that Yeti thing coming out too, though.
Yeti was this. I thought this was just renamed from Yeti.
But we play video games, and like it took a long time to convince people to go digital. Like, are we really going to go full on streaming?
And now people are putting more things on physical media now. Yeah. Like, people kill me with that whole argument. Well, I don't buy it. I'm waiting for a physical release. Whatever, man. They're going to update it 8 billion times. It'll still be outdated. You'll still need those servers.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, the nice thing about this though is,
and then they said like what Red Dead, the install is like 102 megabytes or something like.
Gigs.
I mean gigabytes,
gigs.
Yeah. So like, even if you buy it on disc, like you still got to download all that player.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's the cool thing about this is, I mean. This will eventually go the same way that business went, though you can see some of the fun stuff with AWS right now, with like Amazon Web Services and Azure for Microsoft. Like, a lot of businesses have gotten rid of a lot of their physical footprint and transitioned to virtualized environments. Like, and that'll go to the consumer as well. Like, people will use this at some point, but our infrastructure doesn't. Home networks don't support that as well as they could.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because this show is going strictly Spotify. You can only stream it on Spotify. We'll no longer be sending out cartridges or discs per episode. So,
what we need to do is go completely Tidal. It's only available on a paid Tidal.
Premium, and have that real
premium
good audio.
Tidal.
Well, that's right. The Tidal version, so 8 people can listen to it.
Yeah.
Sorry, 9. I don't know. And apparently, Toys R Us, after firing all their employees, is not going to sell the name and going to try to make a comeback.
Yep.
Whatever. I'm not giving them any money. And KB Toys apparently is coming back for like pop-up stores or something like that this fall. Yep, that's all I can say.
Ninja for why?
Well, exactly.
I'm keeping this clean. Like, why are you doing it? Why do you feel the need to do this? You went away for a reason.
Yep.
Just stay away.
You were poorly managed.
Well, but did they go? Did they actually go away for a reason? Because, like, from everything that I remember reading from, like, financial reporting was they got loaded by their investment finance with a bunch of bad
they screwed them over.
Debt, with a bunch of bad debt from other companies. So, like, it wasn't that Toys R Us was mismanaged. It was, like...
I don't think it was managed well.
And that's fine, but, like, Toys R Us itself could have survived if not saddled with this debt from other bad businesses.
I think it could have survived longer, but I still think that it may have had one foot nudging a grave somewhere.
Maybe, but again, it seems like the big thing was, hey, here's $10 million in, like, just debt weight around your neck that's not generated by you.
Oh yeah,
like, hey,
and they shuffle things around, so it just weighed down Toys R Us. And
but don't you think that Toys R Us, if they did come back, the only way they could survive is to sell tablets and Fortnite skins? Because
they have to become an experience. Like, it's same. Like, think of like Build-A-Bear. Like, you could go buy a stuffed animal from Amazon, but like you go to Build-A-Bear because it's an experience that your child can like do the whole stupid thing.
I think the one closest to me closed.
Did it? Because like I thought they like reported records after the dumb pay your child's age thing. They did what in August or whatever.
Yeah,
like
my kids have like 8 of those things between them all, and yeah.
I mean, there's just like it has to become more of a. It can't be the like you have the teenagers who don't care sitting in the corner smoking up and like whatever. Like it has to be a reason for you have to give people a reason to go and enjoy the store. Otherwise, like they're gonna bring Toys R Us back for it to just die all over again.
Which is
so
I'm not looking for
like it'll have a hipster Christmas and then the stores will be empty all over again.
Remember this? Shut your mouth. All right.
So.
All right. Well, why don't we wrap up?
Yeah.
All right. Chase, shout outs, plugs, all that good stuff, sir.
Yeah, man. Shout out all the listeners from both their podcasts, because if it wasn't for them, then we probably wouldn't have a podcast, because we got a bunch of listeners.
No, that's not true.
I was going to say, wait, what?
I
don't think you could I don't think you could disagree with somebody's shout outs. I didn't know that was a thing.
I disagree. I disagree with the fact that if I had one download, I would still do my show.
Okay.
I don't know if I could.
I don't because I do this for me. I don't do this for you. I don't care if you listen, but if you listen, like that's awesome. Like I truly believe in the power of me. And like, you know what? If I only have, if only one person listened, and you know, that person would probably be Mike J. But if only one person listened,
he's worth it. That's true.
I would still be just as satisfied as I am, with the increase in downloads that we've done since August. Like,
so yeah, scratch that. Like, instead of shout out the listeners, shout out Scar and Mike J.
You know, yeah. Screw everybody else.
Yeah, shout out to Mike J, because Mike J will be here.
Yeah, I was and shout out to Meef J and the Destiny Besties. I haven't really played with them in over a month. So yeah. Sorry about that. I haven't been in a position to play any I can't pause type games. And shout out to Amber for staying sane over these past weeks, because it's been kind of crazy around the Langdon household, which I didn't get into, but
I mean, she's right there. She could just wave and say thank you.
Yeah, she could. They're all waving at you. But
hello.
But and a little shout out to my Extra Life event, because we hopefully we'll have something good going on, because I'm going to try something a little bit different. Maybe like just have it kind of a hangout, cookout, drink some beer, and maybe have the stream more focused on us than the game type deal, which I know that we don't, have boobs and stuff, which mostly those type of streams are going that direction. But
I mean, kind of I do. Like
yeah,
let's be honest.
Too, but not anybody cares about. But
I care about my boobs, Chase.
Yeah, and
that's not what the people on that website told me. I mean, what?
Wait, what?
But yeah, we're doing, like I said before, doing more Persona 4 charity. And it's Persona 4 charity. There's a pun there, so acknowledge that. It's amazing. and that is youtube.com/awakenheathen, because I can't change that. But once you search that, it'll just come up. Or you can just search Crucial Chase in YouTube. That'll pretty much find me. And so this weekend, I'll finish up the month of October for Persona.
Cool.
Oh, well, thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you and having you on the show, Chase.
You too.
Scar.
Man, thank you to y'all for having us on and letting me put this up on my feed also. Shout out to my favorite punching bag, Chase. I love you, man. But Mike, who had to be out early. It's been a long time since I've been back, and it's always a good time, but a long time. But I always enjoy it. I always enjoy hanging out with y'all, and we should do this again sometime, probably earlier in the day. Shout out to all the listeners, because I would do this if you weren't here, but because you're here, that makes me want to do this more.
Because you were wanting to do it less in August, but since you got so many downloads, you're like, hell yeah, Scarcasm.
No, actually, I was just
edit that one.
I was just kind of burned out. I mean, I'm on 3 podcasts, so I was just kind of burned out. So speaking of that, go listen to the Dream Team, the Dr. 3 AM team, and Facetious with me and the homie Blue.
And that's weekly and live.
Yes, absolutely. And I can't really cuss that much over there either.
Blue ain't having it, man.
Yeah, I try to be nice. That's my man's in them.
We gotta get Blue back on here too, man. He's good people. Mm-hmm. All right, Tiny.
Yo,
you are up.
Hey, so it looks like we've decided on our date for our Extra Life event. We'll be doing it December 15th and 16th. So, hey, you want to be part of the GameEthus team? Go to extra-life.org/team/GameEthus. And come help join us. Like we announced last week, we've raised over $50,000 since we started doing Extra Life. And we want to push that to 100,000. So, more people get involved, more money we can raise. So, yeah, do that. And since Mike's not here, have your dog spayed or neutered by a professional. And
donate blood.
Donate blood, yes. Yeah. Preferably your own.
Don't nobody want my blood.
I don't think they take other people's blood. So anyway.
Can't hurt to ask. I don't know. Well, thank you, Chase and Scar, for your time. It's been a pleasure. Scar, it has been quite some time, but it's always good to have you back at GameEthus headquarters.
Word up, dog.
And Chase, now that you've been here, you have to come back at some point.
Yeah.
You have no choice. I'm sorry. It's been decided. It's done.
Thanks for having me. I will definitely come back, and maybe, maybe I'll talk more.
Yeah,
Scar kind of overshadows me a little bit because he's such a. Are you an introvert?
A force.
Scar? Would you consider yourself an introvert?
I'm an omnivert, actually.
Oh, well, I'm definitely an introvert, but I tried to be less that on podcasts.
Well, you're on a podcast, so that on camera over this here internet, so step in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
So, thank you to our listeners as well. Like Scar said, if you weren't here, we do like talking to each other in general, obviously, but it's nice that people come in and chat with us and let us know that they're out there. We always appreciate that. Thank you, Mike and Tony, for your time as well. I'm still not paying you. I love you. Yeah, if you want to give us feedback, podcast at GameEthus.com, voicemail 202-573-7686. And like I said, we are now on Spotify. You can stream the same show. You can download it anywhere else and then stream it on Spotify at the same time. So,
well, I mean, you can stream it on Spotify and then do commentary live over it.
Or call me, play it, and I'll talk about what I was thinking when I said that dumb thing that I said. It all comes full circle.
See, I'm just trying to follow up on your idea.
The Director's Cut podcast.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a Patreon kind of thing. I'm just saying. I mean, that also means we have to start a Patreon.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable asking for money, but yeah, who knows what time in life will do to you. So, I guess that's it. Yeah, everybody. Lord willing, we'll be back next week. I don't know what day, but yeah. Chase, any final words?
I think I'm good, man.
I think you're good too. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
I have no problem asking people for money.
I like that shit. Yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, Walt. All right, I ain't gonna talk.